Oh boy. Alright, okay. Should be the correct audio input. Yup, that's it. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a good day. Kind of having a sleepy day over here. Gotta go to work after this. So might as well get on with it. Chieftain playoffs. I did the Storm Vermin yesterday. Grayseer is going to be in 2 weeks because next weekend I am out of town. I'll be in Indianapolis trying to sell board games at a convention. That'll be exciting and probably stressful and probably difficult. Weekend after that, I'll be in Seattle hiking with Grace's sister's boyfriend. So we'll do the Grayseer playoffs offline. I'll cast the replays on that Monday. And then Immortal Empires will be right around the corner and we'll just get on with it. Right. And then the death of the channel is imminent. Imminent! If Rubber Duck of War couldn't make it work, how could we? I don't know. I guess we'll just try. Alright. 3 out of 3 signups. So I, on my right screen, have the seeding. So Coops has the most points, so Coops gets a bye round, which takes him right to the finals. And then Matthew, B969, has more points than Dr. Jellyfish, so he should be the upper. Hold on, I'll just change him over here. No, that is correct. Okay, yeah, now it changed. Good. So he has first pick. Since he is our second seed for today, Coops' first seed gets a bye round. Dr. Jellyfish is our third seed. It just gets to exist. All right. Woo! 2 best of 3s, probably an hour-long stream. And then I'll go do the shit I need to do today. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Lovely. What up, Samarick? I hope you sell lots of copies. I'll try. What lord are you going to start with? IE? Queek? Easy peasy. Easy peasy. At Doctor and at Matha. Host lobby, please. I'll spectate. I found the game lags less or something if you let one of the players host. I don't know. Hosting as a spectator has been a pretty experience for me. So I try to avoid it if I can. Stay stream today? I don't know. I gotta go to work after this stream, and I got a couple other things I want to do. I'll maybe stream something else today later on if I get all my shit done, but it'll be late, if anything. Also, I've been playing a good amount of Hades, which is nice. I haven't played a single-player game for myself in a very long time, but finally stopped playing League of Legends again, so now in an hour or two of free time I have between things, I'll usually just throw on Hades and do a couple runs quick. If you've played Hades, the weapons feel really unbalanced. Like, the sword and the fists both feel fucking terrible. The shield feels pretty also And the bow and arrow and the spear are by far, like, the super best. I don't know. I'm just having a hard time seeing how any other weapon is as good as them. I just unlocked the machine gun. I haven't gotten to play with it yet. Like, 30 minutes before this stream started, I finished a run, unlocked the machine gun. I was like, oh, I get a fucking machine gun. Okay, I'll try that later. And then I got stream stuff set up. Queek, you do the squeak, but when he sees Cetra, he goes, eek. Ha! No, when he sees Cetra, he fucking murders him. Easy peasy. Tomb King's Blow. Poison Wind Globes. Go Bear. Would you buy Stay if you promised to play it? No. When I looked at that game, that is just pure trouble for my channel. It's not gonna go over well. So we're not doing that one. No. Alright. So we have Matthew, B969. And then we have Son of the Mountain, Dr. Jellyfish. Oh boy. Quick has to survive Scarbrand first using Clan Rats as a front line. He's gonna do great. He's gonna do great. I see no issues here. Did anybody see Rubber Duck stream today? I stuck around till the announcement. I just want to know what the announcement was. He is not retiring from YouTube, but he's pulling back from YouTube. It was also interesting just to hear someone besides myself in the content creator sphere talk about how poorly Game 3 is doing viewership-wise. Because he said, he was like, I was considering quitting YouTube altogether until Immortal Empire's early access saved my channel. But even after that, I got a full-time job now, so I'm going to go do that, and I might release like half as... I'm super paraphrasing. If you want to know the details, go watch his stream from today. But he was saying, I'll release about half as many videos and probably do very few, if any, live streams. So... Rubber Duck. We will not get a lot of Death Before Dishonor tournaments anymore. Hubby help, the community has gone insane. Are you talking about the Throg conversation? Just because, like, the whole conversation behind it, I personally think Marauder Chieftain with as little stuff on him as possible is better than most Norscan Lords just because it's cheap. I think the community is just souring on Wolfric because Wolfric's been underperforming in a lot of recent games. And Throg could be an alternative for, like, regeneration, just standing around. I personally don't have that much success on Throg, but I think he's better than Wolfric recently. Went in, good. It's good to see you. It's been a while. Samarik, that is a lot of titles for a guy that's going to get one shot by Queek. Wait, what happened to Rubber Duck? I thought I explained it pretty well, but yeah. He's chilling. Got a job. His channel's been struggling recently with Warhammer 3's current state, so he's stepping back from YouTube for a bit. He'll release about half as many videos and not do too many more live streams. And then Logic is still working on his Masters. I don't know if he's going to come back to the scene. I know a couple times he's tried to host something. He had a hard time getting signups. So I don't know if Logic will come back. Turn and Anticity will probably do whatever they want, though Anticity is mostly a campaign streamer. Dav, I don't know. The last couple times he did the South Sea Raiders tournaments, he struggled with them a bit, and they're very few and far between. So I'm kind of curious what the tournament scene is going to be like with Immortal Empires. Because on the one hand, I would suppose that like the new content and hopefully the hype would bring everyone back. So then it's like, well, Turin and Anticity will probably run some tournaments. Logic would run Battlemania again. Again, I don't know how that's going to go. Dove Plays would maybe come back. Houseplant and Platypus have been running their Domination Tournament series for pretty consistently, even in the dead time, so they'll be there for sure. So there's, on the one hand, that. On the other hand, I just mentioned the concerns about Duck, Logic, and Dov, so they may not really come back. So it might just be like Turin. Anticity does a lot of campaign stuff, so he might just stick with campaign stuff. I don't know. So who knows? After IE, the tournament scene might actually not overflood, as I was worried about. We'll see. I'm also worried that the hype generation isn't going to be as much as people would have thought. Because at the start of Warhammer 3, before everybody knew it was bad, my channel got like so many fucking views, and then it plummeted. But when I looked back at Turin, his early access to Mortal Empire stuff isn't getting nearly as many views as like the start of Warhammer 3, so I'm worried the spike won't be as high. So we'll see how it goes. I have to remember that there's a bunch of casual fans who saw all the commercials and shit for Warhammer 3 that were everywhere. And they were like, oh, that looks sick, and then they picked it up and it was shit, and they're like, oh, this sucks, and then left. Not all the casuals are watching all of CA's announcements and stuff, so they may not even know Mortal Empires is happening. Because I need to remember that, like, I'm super plugged into this game and there's other games I don't know about. Like, there are games I've played and enjoyed that I didn't even know had a DLC. So it's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, people might just not know what's going on. Grievan, in accordance with lesson negativity from Human Boy, I'll not mention how OP Kislev is or how cringe dwarf fans are today, after this one, that is. Oh! All right. Thank you, Grievan, for keeping it positive. Use a werekin with Metal Mage. Your competition is thinning. Yeah, with the state of the game right now, it is just kind of an endurance thing of like, how long are you willing to put up with really bad viewership and stuff. So I could see it being a big weeding out. We'll see. GGX will host a big tourney at the start of IE. Ooh. That's exciting, women. Women. If it's open to anybody, I would like to play if I know about it ahead of time. So keep me posted, friendo. Just not their fans. I'll fill the void. At least campaign will be fun in 3. Yeah, campaign will be fun. Guaranteed. Mr. Casual, you better fill the void. You got this. I heard Rubber Duck say dwarves are really bad in domination mode, which prompts my fears. I mean, everyone's fears of like, it was a meme that they keep buffing Cathay to make them good in domination mode. People are like, man, if they keep buffing Cathay, what are they going to do for dwarves to make them good in domination mode? But then when Rubber Duck was talking about it today, he was like, yeah, dwarves are really bad in domination mode. I kind of sat up at my computer, leaned forward, I'm like, so what are they going to do with dwarves now? Like, you better fucking not just throw stats at them. Oh, God. Anyway. Armies are getting set up. I suppose I can start talking about them. For Dr. Jellyfish on Kislev, we have Kislev versus Cathay. Armored Kossar front line. We have Kossars with spears, so a whole bunch of archers in the back line. Double Little Groms, Arena on a bear, and Kossoi dervishes mixed with winged lancers. I think we saw a very similar build out of Random Nicks yesterday versus Blood Penguins Cathay. Something like that. For Matt, we have quadruple Jade Lancers. So our Blood Penguin went with the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin, ROR in the sky, but no other cav. Matt here has 4 Jade Lancers. We have quadruple cannon, a front line of Jade Warriors, a back line of Peasant Long Spearmen, and a Dragon-Blooded Shugenin Lord of Yin, with Ancestral Warrior Summon and Storm of Shadows, but no Talons of Night. Interesting. So this cannon build should destroy the Little Groms pretty effectively. It should also do okay against the cavalry. The only thing it has to be concerned about is the amount of archers in ranged, because you have no counter archers to fire. So your cannons will win as long as you're at long range, but if you get into the medium range where the archers can actually reach your cannons will die pretty quickly. But I suppose that's why he has quadruple Jade Lancers to cycle charge around some stuff. I think this Cathay build is pretty well suited to what it's facing against Kislev. Now, Kislev has a shot. It's just if both armies are played by AI, I would say it's about 60-40 in Cathay's favor with the armies I see in front of me right now. Okay. I disagree with Rubber Duck of War's take on this, but I'm also doing this as a joke. So before anybody runs off and DMs Rubber Duck of War like, Human Boy fucking hates you. He thinks you're stupid. No, that's not what I mean. All right, it's just a joke. Take a joke. But anyway, when Rubber Duck on his stream was saying dwarves are really bad, I think the only way they'll be good in domination is if CA gives them a bunch of speed. Please give the dwarves more speed. And I'm like, fucking no, fucking no. That is their thing. The dwarves are slow as shit. Leave them be in that regard. You can't just. Yeah, let's just make these heavily armored, spell-resistant, high melee stats, cheap dwarves fast as fuck. Why not? I don't know. It struck me as funny, but again, you know, it's just because I disagree with his opinion on what makes dwarves good doesn't mean, you know. Human Boy hates Rubber Duck of War. Just make all dwarves units free and no limits. See if even a full Ironbreaker army can win. Here's my problem with Warhammer 3. There's a lot of views, which cause a lot of casuals. We're told that it was a game mode made just for them and it was hype and they started watching it and domination sucks. I see. Now that Hubby's competition is leaving, he attacks. I just kick them while they're down. That's my play. God forbid I have an opinion on anything anybody says. No, I'm just here to kick them while they're down. Anyway. The cannons are teeing off. They do okay against the infantry on their first volley, but they really just want to be shooting at the little groms. Now, one little grom is actually deployed by Dr. Jellyfish behind a hill. It's pretty significantly behind a hill, so I think only one of the cannons could shoot it if it wanted to. This will put Cathay in a bit of a hard spot. As far as cavalry goes, 2 of the Jade Lancers are hidden from Cathay. The other 2 are deployed on the flanks, so it might just look like there's only 2 Jade Lancers and that Dr. Jellyfish could overwhelm the cavalry fight. Dervish is going to take a huge hit on the charge. They are just not nearly as good as Jade Lancers in the first charge because, you know, 15 armor compared to 100 is kind of a big fucking deal in a cavalry fight. It looks like more Dervishes are going to try to 2v1 this Jade Lancer, but even then, the Jade Lancer will probably trade up just because of its armor value. I don't know. We'll see. The back Jade Lancers are discovered, but can Dr. Jellyfish avoid them in time? It doesn't look like it. He is going to take a nasty side charge. And so far, Cathay is doing pretty well. Pretty well overall. I really like this. This is a nice play. If your opponent has archer advantage and you have roughly equal cavalry, you could try to defend yourself just with mobility and move up your front line so that the archers have to go into melee if they want to get in range of the cannons. You can see the archers are just barely in range of the cannons, but since they're in melee, they're having a hard time shooting. That's a pretty good play to defend your cannons when you're going to lose the medium range fight pretty convincingly. Now, it looks like the hill little grom is taking some damage. The open little grom is already dead. So the Cathay cannons are doing what they need to be doing. But how long can it last? Ancestral warriors are summoned on the back line to try and kill off winged lancers. It's a tricky call. I mean, you do have to defend it, but that's a really expensive summon to throw on a back line like that. I don't know. It's a tough call. Meanwhile, Dr. Jellyfish is chucking out an overcasted Heart of Winter to try and kill off 2 different Jade Warriors and let his people through. Let my people go! The Jade Lance that was 2v1ing, like we said earlier, is now just 1v1ing, and it looks like he'll probably end up winning that. So good for you, Jade Lancer. You're beating light skirmish cav. Matt does want to finish off this Kosovo Dervish rather quickly. He has 2 full health heavy cav units fighting it. They're kind of blocked up right now, so just wants to finish and move on. But Kislev's about to pap its unbreakable passive and not go anywhere for 55 years. Probably. 0. Wow, it already used its passive at one point, apparently. Okay, cool. If that's the case, then Kislev's in a bad spot, because Cathay just got 2 heavy cav units back. They're going to run over here, do whatever they want. We still have a couple cannons online, though it does look like they're being shot. The cannons don't really matter now. It's just, can Kislev clear out all of this infantry with a bunch of wounded-ass archers, no cavalry, and no little groms? My gut tells me no, but it's possible. Zarina would have to live for quite a while and get a ton of Heart of Winters. Jade Lancers and Dervishes still fighting off in the distance. I think whoever wins this, it's not going to matter too much. The Jade Lancers will probably win it, but they're going to be so low at that point, they won't get much done besides chasing off already routing units in the battle. Dr. Jellyfish at this point has to start kiting with some Huzahs. These ones are getting a nice angle from the backs. They're not getting the bronze shields or silver shields of Jade Warriors. Yeah, it's bronze shields. But can Huzahs kill all of this stuff? I think the biggest problem is that there are Jade Lancers running around. Like this very, very healthy unit. This very healthy unit, they can just sprint down the Huzahs. If it was just infantry, maybe Kislev could kite this out. But the cavalry advantage is going to come in pretty clutch. Zarina is extremely weak to Peasant Long Spearmen. She'll want to avoid them at all costs. Maybe a nice Frostfang here could kill 2 units, but I don't know. It's looking a little doomed. Dowie going to be broken in land battle? Not in their current state, but if they get buffs, maybe. Maybe. I'm excited for IE, though. I flip back and forth constantly on how I feel, but right now I'm excited for it feel. I'm nervous about what'll happen to the scene, but like it could either be good or bad for various reasons. But right now, the state we're in right now is just bad, so it's like, well, might as well roll the dice for potentially better. And it'll be interesting, at least. Nice side shot from the cannons, but it is all over but the crying for Kislev. I just don't see how they can win this at this point. There's too much left. There's too many men, too many people, making too many problems. There's not much left to go around. Tell me why this is the land of the Cathay. Kislev is defeated. Who will be the chieftain today's? I don't know, random nicks. Dr. Jellyfish and Matt are fighting right now. Coop's got a bye round, which takes him into the finals, baby! Because it's a 3-man tournament. Hell yeah! So Coops has to win one best of 3 to be $75 richer. Human Boy, I thought this was for 50. Yeah, but if it's for Coops, I'll make it 75 because I'm biased and shitty. Alrighty. I like that build from Matt. That was pretty good. Played it really well, too. Had good battlefield awareness, where his cavalry should be, moving up his front line when he realized the enemy had all archers. I don't know. It was just good. Well played. Good spread out value there. Dr. Jellyfish did what he could. It was kind of hard after he realized what the enemy build was. Ooh, one of his constars actually got 1200 value. Other Cossars did okay, but yeah, cannons be cannons. Jidge. If I were a betting man, I'm betting Dr. Jellyfish is about to go Grand Cathay, maybe ban Kislev or something. I don't know what he's going to ban. Cyrus is just spamming me with stay, DPRK stuff. All right. I should have said this, but Matthew did include the picks and bans. He said Cathay, ban ogres, and Dr. Jellyfish picked Kislev, as you saw. So I'll try to be more on top of that pick and ban. No promises. Because I am shit. What a beautiful kickoff to the Battle of the Suns. Dude, the cannons, I'm really curious to see what they do with the Empire cannons. I'm sure it's been on a stream somewhere that I just missed with Immortal Empires or something, but if all the cannons have the updated visuals and sound effects of the Cathay cannons, oh, it's going to be so good. All right, Grievin. The comeback mechanic and 2-3 minutes waiting time before point unlock was not new or viewer friendly. Neither is 2/3 of an army being all dogs and furies. Yeah. Mr. Casual, you'll be broken in land battles? Fuck yeah, you will. I'm just hoping for Chaos Dwarves. Chaos Dwarves. It'll be fun. Though someone in my YouTube comments said something about it annoys them that CA doesn't fix anything. They just focus on Lord Pack after Lord Pack after Lord Pack. Which, agree or disagree, I guess I'm part of the problem, because whenever I hear of a new race or a new lord, I'm like, that sounds pretty cool. I'm excited about that. So I guess I'm just a fucking piece of shit. CA is cringe and should give nobody like you early access. Oh god, dude. If I could get early access before it comes out, that would be great. Though honestly, it's too late now. And that's the depressing part, is by the time the small... Okay, here's my soapbox. If you don't want to hear me bitch, mute me for like 30 seconds. But I've bitched pretty consistently that it annoys me that they gave the big streamers early access before the little streamers that had stuck around Warhammer, and they were just like, big streamers, please, we'll suck your dick, come back, big streamers, we'll give you early access so early, like mid to late July, big streamers, please come back. Oh, big streamers. And then the big streamers come back and they're like, don't worry, little streamers, we've got you. X amount of time before the game actually releases, we'll give you early access. That is not a lot of time to make any videos or any content whatsoever, little streamers. Don't worry, we fucking got your back, because we're CA and we love you. Okay. But by the time I get early access, the big streamers have had early access for a month. They're pumping out 1 to 2 videos a day. So what content is going to be left? People, I have heard from multiple people, they're already kind of like burned out on watching Mortal Empires early access and they just want to play Immortal Empires. But they're not clicking on the videos anymore. Rubber Duck, I was looking at his channel today because he was talking about... And if I haven't made it clear, I'm very interested in YouTube metrics because, you know, I'm trying to make a fucking channel here. But he was saying that he was struggling in Warhammer 3, so I went and checked his views, and yeah, they were down in like the 3,000s until his Immortal Empire stuff. And then his Immortal Empire stuff came out, and he spiked up to around 10, 13,000. It was inconsistent. And he stayed there for a while, but he's already started to taper off a bit. So he's down in the 6,000-ish range. And Turin had a similar thing when I looked at his data. Inticity, I haven't looked too much. He's a little inconsistent about his data. So my problem with it is that theoretically, if I get Immortal Empires access right now, I'm going to be like, Immortal Empires access, vampire counts are fucking broken. And all the comments are going to be like, we know. I'm like, okay, but did you know this? Beastmen are also pretty good. All the comments are going to be like, yep, we know. So there's like nothing left to cover. It's just like, oh, okay. And then I have a fuck ton of embargoes too. So even when I get it, right? So like, I get access to the grocery store early. And I'm like, sweet, I get to go to the grocery store early. And I see all the big streamers leaving with their grocery carts already full. And I'm like, okay, well that's not great. And then I go in the store and I'm going to see a sign that says, you cannot grab steak, chicken, bananas, apples, barbecue sauce, cereal, on and on and on. I can't do all those things. And I'm like, hey, big streamers, did you see this thing you can't do? And they say, yeah, dude, we can't do it. It sucks, right? But you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm like, okay. And then by the time they open the doors for me, I'm gonna see the big streamers grabbing steak and bananas. And I'm like, hey, those were on the list. And they said, no, it got taken off my list earlier than yours. So then the big streamers are gonna be putting out content like, hey, I made steak and banana pudding. And people are gonna be like, steak and banana pudding? That's really fucking cool. That's new and exciting. And I'm like, hey guys, I made toast again. And they're like, we've been watching Toast for the last month, you fucking casual. We don't want to see toast anymore. We want to see steak and banana pudding. So then, like, again, the big streamer's going to have content that we don't have, and we have, like, this old, broken content that nobody wants to see, and it's just like, God, dude, this program kind of fucking sucks. I don't know. If CA sees this somehow and doesn't like it, they can kick me out. I've been in the program for 5.5 months, and I have learned 2 things before other people learned them, and one of them I learned literally 4 hours before it was posted for everybody else to see. So, hasn't been the most helpful. So if they're against free speech, then fuck them. But yeah, this program's a joke. I didn't say they're not... Oh, people think those builds are easy to play. The Domination, like Dogs and Furies ones, yeah, they're pretty difficult. Domination's not easy by any means. I don't love it as a viewer experience, but I've never pretended it's easy. Because I'm significantly worse at Domination mode than I'm at land battles. So it requires practice. Build knowledge, all that shit. Domination's a good mode, just sucks to watch. Stream, why are you cycling in the middle of a rant? I don't know, Venge. It's looking okay on my left monitor, so it might be a you problem, but we'll see. We need more Skaven videos. If I ever get them early access, dude, I got you. Why do people say Norse goes overpowered? I didn't say they're not skillful builds. I'm saying it's boring to watch and it's a personal preference. I prefer all the shiny and big stuff. Yeah. Shiny big stuff is hype. I tried to make the Rogue Idol good for so long because I just liked the Rogue Idol. I just... Kind of the same reason I got into Skaven was why I tried to make the Rogue Idol work for so long, is just I liked it. I thought it was very funny. I enjoyed seeing the Rogue Idol stomp around and like his big... My favorite move in the entire game is the Rogue Idol clap, where he like winds up, it's like, I'm coming in for a hug! And then like all the infantry he hits goes flying. It's one of my favorite animations of the whole game. I fucking love that animation. I also love the one where he does 3 punches on the ground while slightly moving forward, which is just like it almost never hits for some reason, but God, it looks cool. I love the Rogue Idol. He's trash, but I love the Rogue Idol. In campaign, I had some fun. I had Wurzag and like 5 or 6 Rogue Idols in an army for a while. That was pretty fun. And then I got ambushed in the Chaos Waste. I was raiding the Empire, and Chaos like showed up on the edge of my screen, and I was like, oh, that's not great. And I forget what I did, but I fucked up. And a lot of good campaign players could probably scream at me what I did wrong. But I moved out of range. I'm like, okay, I can't see Chaos on my screen, so I'm out of range, right? And then Archaon and 3 armies showed up, and I couldn't retreat, so I lost my Rogue Idol army. And after that, I think I quit the campaign pretty shortly after, because I was kind of... I had done what I wanted to do in the campaign. You get early access like 3 days before release. Ogres versus the Fun Box? Yeah. I've been playing Warhammer 2 campaign. I really miss some of the Game 3 features. Game 3 has a lot of quality of life features, both in battle and in campaign, that are so good. Okay, sorry. Looking. Matthew, I was talking to the crowd and I didn't pay attention. Alright. He's asking me about where he put his troops, if that's fine. Ooh, a real box. Yeah. So I'll talk about the game for once in my life. So we have Cathay versus Ogres. This matchup's bad for Ogres, but it isn't one of the worst in the game. There are multiple ways they can play it, and it looks like Cathay is very much ready for an Ogre rush, and they're not getting that. So Matthew has a pretty good build considering what he ended up facing. Alright. Sorry. Again, Matthew's asking me about rule stuff before we start the game because he doesn't want to break the rules, which is fine. But we do have double Noblar Scrap Launcher. Those are going to be quite effective. Lead Belchers are so risky against Cathay, dude. I've taken them a couple times trying to make it work, but basic archers wreck Lead Belchers. The thing is, there's no archers here. So these Lead Belchers are going to get their value in spades. Other than that, we have a Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw with... What is that one? I never remember what that one is. Bullgorger, plus melee attack and some armor-piercing damage. Troll Guts is fine. We have some Sabertoss packs, Noblar Trappers. We do have the Sky Striders and Noblars. It's a kite build. Very effective against what Dr. Jellyfish brought. What Dr. Jellyfish did bring is Great Longbow Riders, Righteous Lances of Wei Jin, a Sky Lantern, Double Terracotta Sentinel, Miao Ying, Astromancer on a Compass, and 4 Peasant Long Spearmen. So he's going to lumber after the Ogres while he's getting shot the whole time. The rules Matt was asking about is the specifics of deploying too close to the white line, which he is currently too close to the white line, if he sits there. And he was asking me, he's like, just making... Ooh, there's an Iron Blaster too. He was asking, he's like, just making sure I could deploy here as long as I move up when the game starts, right? And I said, yes. And he's like, okay, cool. That's all. The ones in the center are too close. And forest camping. There. Matt entered the scene with Warhammer 3, and he's a pretty good player, but he hasn't, as far as I know, he hasn't played a ton of land battle tournaments, so I think he's just making sure he's playing by the rules and stuff. Yep. I think he's being a little overly cautious, like asking, you know, because we're talking back and forth about what he can and can't do, and it's like, fine. But I'd prefer overly cautious to just break the rules and see what happens. Sorry, he's asking me about one more thing, and I don't understand what his abbreviation is. So, my apologies for the delay. Okay. He's good. I think the ogres have a pretty supreme build advantage against specifically what Cathay brought. Because the Cathay brought is pretty extreme, honestly. Against ogres, I generally like to just go with a fuck ton of archers and spears and halberds. A couple Iron Hail Gunners in case of Stonehorns, though post-Stonehorn nerf, that's not as necessary, but it's still nice. That can handle most ogre builds. This one is very risky, because it's like, if you guess right what the ogres are bringing, if they're just rushing you, this Cathay box is nearly unbeatable. But if you guess wrong, I feel like you have a worse time versus the kite than you would with like a normal build, so I don't know. I prefer the normal build, but we'll see. Does Zatam still play? I don't recognize that name, unless you're referring to Katam, the Norskin main. And no, I haven't seen him play in like years. Alright, Doomsage, I was distracted by messages and stuff, good sir. So I didn't see your comment, but welcome to the stream. How you doing, dude? How you doing? Cathay box, never see that. Let's go. Woo, oh my god, I can't believe, oh mom, get the camera, it's a Cathay box. Balance of power looks a little off. Yeah, it does, actually. I'm not used to seeing the ogres get fucked this hard by the balance of power. Normally it's just Korn's thing. What the hell? It's the dwarf roots for the box, just as expected. Longbows are the one thing that might save jellyfish here? Maybe. Maybe. I have a video coming out soon, though, of an Iron Blaster getting a shot onto the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin and taking out about a third of their health with one shot. Now, that was a very lucky shot, but just saying, Iron Blaster might have something to say about those longbows. Hopefully the ogres can recreate the shot. Yeah, it's Coop's shot! That's the exact one I was talking about! Yeah. It's hiding, it's fine, yeah. So what Matthew was specifically asking about was these lead belchers on this white line and then these guys in the corner, and he said, these guys in the corner are technically 200 meters away, so I can take the fight here, right? And I was like, yeah, it's kind of forest camping. I would prefer if you moved out of the forest by the time Dr. Jellyfish got to you. The reason he deployed like that, while it seems scummy, he didn't know what Cathay's build was, so his idea was to trade with the scrap launchers and the Iron Blaster, kill all the cannons, and then when Cathay advanced with their infantry, pull the lead belchers out. So lead belchers were just hiding in the trees from the cannons. He didn't intend to fight there. He made that very clear in DMs, so that's what we were talking about. Yeah, man, same old, same old. Build roulette is the best. All on black, baby. True. Hummus, that shot was me. Oh, Coop said it first. Yeah. I knew it was in the free-for-all. I just forgot who was involved, Zep. Because I am not present most of the time. I'm just coasting through life. Alright, Cathay is getting kited. Norse Gorilla needs the Ogre Hunter Lord type and a Caster Lord. Ilmatar Bunny's a noob of the Smite Syndicate. Dude, I'm surprised Norska doesn't have more of the Ogre Hunter type thing, where it's just like this anti-large poke skirmish type unit. Like, that seems like their jam. Like, call them the Mammoth Hunters or something. Like an ROR Marauder Horseman. Or Marauder Horseman Master and give their, like, shots anti-large and poison or something. I don't know. Or give them, oh, and then you could have a melee unit, like, that gets Deathmaster Snitch's more damage for less health, called like the Finishers or something, and they're a light cav with like anti-large and whatnot, but they're meant to go in after you poke something down and like finish it off. I don't know, really lean into their whole hunter aspect. Anyway, distractions aside, the Sky Striders charge into the Terracotta Sentinels and start doing a shit ton of damage, but we do get a regrowth cast onto one of them and a Talons of Night, tearing apart the Sky Striders and these Noblar Trappers. The Sky Striders are already down to half HP, roughly. But the Bull Gorger's upgrade is giving them about 89 melee attack, or how much was that? 70 now. Though they're getting torn apart, unfortunately. Lead Belchers are also caught by the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin. That's a big loss for Matthew here, and what was going really well for the early start of the Kite game, it looks like as soon as the Ogres took any engagement whatsoever, they got fucked on. Long Riders on the other side are getting murdered, so that's a good sign for Matthew. And Noblars are also dying. Also, these two could just turn and wreck this little war balloons. That's a good start. So each side is trading. Cathay gets further ahead on the balance of power, which is a little silly. Like, we're not next to army losses yet, don't get me wrong, but we're a lot closer to army losses than we should fucking be for how this game is going. Like, that balance of power, like, one or two more things go wrong and the ogres are gonna get army lost. Alright. Miao Ying and her Terracotta Sentinel are blowing up this Noblar scrap launcher. The Sky Striders somehow come back right next to the Righteous Lances? What the fuck? How did that happen? How did you just rally? What's happening in this game? And then they get immediately destroyed. Oh, that is too funny. On the other side, Sky Lantern is also getting messed up like we talked about. Lead Belcher's turn, it looks like they're going to start firing at the Terracotta Sentinels once again. The Terracotta Sentinel that did not receive the regrowth is actually looking pretty worse for wear. Cathay has lost a lot of their Peasant Long Spearmen, one of their Long Riders, and their aerial support for the most part. It'll probably come back, but it'll also get shot just as easily. They'll be heavily relying on their Astromancer. He does have free spells, but the free spells are not particularly useful against the Ogres. Neither Renan's Thunderbolt or the Comet of Casadora or the Teardrop of Cassandra, or whatever I called it in that one video. None of them are particularly good against Ogre units, so they could just kill Noblars, which is pretty whatever. It's largely going to be down to Miao Ying, the double Terracotta Sentinels, to carry this game. Righteous Lances of Wei Jin are doing some good work, but if an Iron Blaster can get one nice shot onto them, they're going to become a non-factor faster than you can spit. Sky Striders are back, baby! They have 2 whole models and 390 health between them. Let's go! Let's go. Marcus has that? Yes, he does. Ilmatar Bunny's a noob, but this might syndicate. We already read that. I suppose Norse Sky Hunters Javelin. They're called the Whale Hunters, too, I think. Let's see. But more seriously, Throg needs terror, in my opinion. It feels weird seeing him terror out. Yeah. I could see that. Though he is a troll, so I guess he's supposed to have low leadership, but it's tricky. I don't know. Throg needs help. Don't know what kind of help, but he needs help. Iron Blaster's running dangerously low on ammunition, which is concerning, but it gets a nasty shot on the Terracotta Sentinel. Alright, okay, Iron Blaster. I see you. Slaughtermaster the Great Maw might want to start cycle charging. He has a deceptively good melee stat if he gets charged bonus, because he has charge bonus of 44. He has 400 weapon strength and some armor piercing. I wouldn't hate for him to fight the Terracotta Sentinel just a little bit. Lead Belchers are still trying to tear apart the Terracotta Sentinel. The Sky Striders are back, baby! Let's go! They're down to 1 model! 1 leadership, 1 model, that's more than you need! Let's go! And he terror outs as soon as he gets into the fight. Alright, Lead Belchers are still trying to kite. Army losses is approaching for the Ogres. And the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin have landed on the last healthy Lead Belcher, killing it, as the Iron Blaster is getting Troll Guts at the moment, but it is losing the fight to Miao Ying. If it could turn sideways and shoot these Righteous Lances, maybe it could free up those Lead Belchers, and Lead Belchers could save them, but it is really looking tough for Matthew right now. And I think that early engagement with the Sky Striders versus the Righteous Lances of Wei Jin was just an unfortunate disaster, where it went so far into Cathay's favor that they lost a Lead Belcher, they lost their elite Cav unit, and it was just rough. It was rough. I like this balloon got shredded, ran away, and then it's just sat there for the rest of the game, poking in from the sides. I mean, it is in range of these Noblars, though I don't think it has Fire at Will on. It's just chilling. I think this is it for the Ogres, though. Iron Blaster's retreating, their last Lead Belcher's retreating, Scrap Launcher has almost no ammo, and there's no carry potential left outside of that. Army loss is going to hit in 3, 2, 1. Boo! Nope. Missed it somehow. Somehow, Army losses isn't hitting with this much balance of power diff. There it is. Neck bet you hate Sentinels? What? What? An unbreakable armored SEM? What? How could you hate that? How could you hate it? What's wrong with you? With healing aren't a good idea, who would have thought? Yeah, Coops. You beat me to the joke. Coops is the original jokester here. I always hear Warhammer 1 and 2 monsters should be brought up to Sentinel standard, and God, please no. Yeah, no. Pass. Sky Striders, unfortunate engagement. Lead Belchers, I mean, 2 of them got shut down early. They did okay otherwise. Iron Blaster did great. Scrap Launcher was there, you know, to shoot at normal Cathay Archers, and there weren't really any. It's just a rough time. 1 bad engagement cost the game, unfortunately. Miao Ying and the Sentinels did fine. Sentinels didn't even get that much value. They were just around. Righteous Lances and Miao Ying got 5,000 plus value between them, so they really carried the game. Peasant Long Spears got massacred. They just wandered around and died, unfortunately for them. But I think it was Zep who said it, but the Longmas were going to have to carry the day, and they sure did. Do Sentinels have janky hitboxes, or because otherwise just shoot them? Yeah, you can shoot them. It does okay. The problem is they're just unbreakable. I don't know. I don't really like Sentinels in either capacity, though, because I don't really enjoy playing with Sentinels either. They don't get a lot of value most of the time. They're just big. They're big and they're there. I don't know. I want to deal damage. I don't want tanky stuff. I want to deal damage. Boop. Going to game 3. Let's go. Shooting Sentinels is decent. There's just a few factions that can do it. Foot characters can tank them decently. I do not care for missileless factions. Elf main. Yeah? Doomsage, yeah? You think missiles are cool? Think missiles are real cool? Well, I think you should get to be a melee Chad, like the rest of us. Hashtag Skaven mains are melee mains. Hashtag rush builds are cool builds. No, I'm not a rusher. I'm bad at rush factions. I'll do it if I have to, but I'm not very good at it. Defensive playstyle for the win, baby. Sentinels and Rogue Idols should disintegrate, to be honest. Magic constructs, yada yada. Yeah. Natties or Riot? Never! I will never use the fucker sharpshooters. You're a box guy? Yeah. Yeah. Sucks for you people that I'm the only Warhammer streamer left. You have to watch the filthy box main all day. There's literally no other Warhammer streamers. None. 0. Sip. Name one. I'll wait. Name one. Name one person who streams Warhammer. Nobody. There's nobody besides me. I'm perfect in every way. Hooray. Oh, good stretch. God damn. What's the final matchup going to be? Cathay is out. Jellyfish gets the pick 2, but he's already played Cathay and Kislev, so that makes your pick 2 actually significantly harder. All right, Jellyfish is thinking about his pick 2. I pretty much exclusively play Rush. That doesn't mean I don't bring missiles. I'm just rarely use artillery unless I'm playing Skaven, in which case double warp lightning cannon to get the fuck out. I had Ice Power streams after 5 weeks. You had Ice Power streams after ever 5 weeks. Oh, you hear Ice Power streams every 5 weeks, yeah. Dude, like, Vertical Cliff, we were just talking about it. And I talked about it in a salty aspect, but this time I'm not going to talk about it in a salty aspect. I'm just going to reiterate the thing and ask you how crazy it is. Dude, the streaming scene for Warhammer really narrowed down. Like, really narrowed down. Rubber Duck hasn't streamed too much for a long time because he's been busy, which he just mentioned on his stream today, and that I already talked about that news, so I'm going to move on past it. Logic's been busy with the master program, so he hasn't done anything. Ice Power was busy with school, so he hadn't done anything, and then I haven't heard from him since, so I assume he just does not like Game 3. Turin's been playing a lot of Age of Empires, some Immortal Empires, but a lot of Age of Empires, because the embargo says you still can't live stream Immortal Empires, and Turin's pretty much only interested in Immortal Empires content right now, so if he can't stream it, he's not going to. Inticity's also not allowed to stream Immortal Empires, so he's just putting up a daily video, otherwise not streaming at all. Trying to think. Dav, the last stream he did was a domination, the summer qualifier, that was a long time ago. So, like, the streaming scene for Warhammer took a huge hit. Huge hit. So now for stuff like Alfredino's been streaming more. If you aren't part of that, if you don't, like, get his Twitch notifications or something, you should go watch that. He's a funny guy. So Alfredino and ODM stream. They mentioned that BBB still stream, but I haven't really run into that. So they might just be in a different news cycle than I am, and I don't see that they're streaming. I know Platypus streams on Twitch. He's a new streamer. He's a cool guy. Does mostly domination stuff. And then Crabling has been streaming a bunch recently, and Crabling's really fun to watch, though he speaks Russian, so it's like, if you don't know Russian, it's difficult to follow, but he has, like, interesting builds. He's almost never boring. But aside from that, man, there's, like, just not a lot of streaming going on. The scene took a big fucking hit. Big hit. Really enjoy rush builds, but having the threat of missiles removes a lot of cheese options. Has Valkano streamed in a long time? I haven't seen him. Dav doesn't stream a lot. He mostly posts videos. BB also streams some, but it's in Spanish. Next to me will stop. Oh yeah, I'm out, dude. No, it has been not a secret in any means. It's just like, I just am stating a fact. If my channel is not growing in a way that I could make it my job within the next year, by January, so like by January, we need to be on a track of consistent growth in such a way that it could secure me an income. And then I have some saved money I could live on while pursuing that goal. But if my channel still grows as slowly as, like, here, hold on. These guys are thinking about stuff, so what did Jellyfish say? Ogres and Nurgle for Dr. Jellyfish, and Matt's thinking on it. It looks like he's going to maybe pick Zinch, but hold on. I'm going to take you on a little adventure. Analytics, audience, all time. All right, that's when Warhammer 3 came out. Big spike, crashed. And then after that, we've been doing a little bit better than with Warhammer 2, but still not great, right? So I need to see this become more of a linear growth line. I'm not expecting spikes like this. That was a one-time thing, I get that. But this needs to become a linear growth by January. Or if we're still struggling, I'll probably have to stop making YouTube content and focus on getting a different full-time job. Because right now I have a full-time job that is very inconsistent about schedule. So I mean, it's Sunday and I'm going to work tonight. So I'm working on Sunday fucking night. All right. That allows me to be home at noon when the European audience is awake and there's a lot of people who watch Total War stuff. So that's been fortunate. But if I get a real job that doesn't require me to go to work in the middle of the fucking night, I can't really make content for you guys. So I have till January. So I have 6 more months. And that'll be about almost 2 years of streaming to see if this is going to be a viable career option for me or if I need to give it up. So to answer the question you didn't ask about whether I'm leaving the scene or not, depends, man. Depends on how Immortal Empire's release goes. Because if it's a big spike and then it drops off, then this channel is kind of fucked. If it continues to grow, then I can keep doing this shit. But I don't know, man. I'm almost 30. And Grace and I are looking to have kids in the next couple years. So, yeah. I'm taking... when I started this channel in May of last year, I took my shot, like, I'm going to give this a shot and see how it goes. And so far it's been fun, but it hasn't been a career. You know what I mean? And when you have kids and stuff, it's not a great time for, like, I'm going to quit my job and try YouTube. So I'm taking my shot before I have kids. But if this isn't going to be a viable income option, then I need to get a real job so Grace and I can start a little family. Ooh, start a little family, settle down, make muffins every Sunday. The gist. Which is why, like, we've talked about it before, but I had that, like, month or so where I was a Salt Lord Scuttler and not a lot of people... No, well, not a lot of... Okay, I shouldn't say that, but, like, there were a good amount of people who were getting mad at me in the comment section or in Discord DMs or Discord channels that were just like, you complain a lot. And I was like, yeah, I'm just kind of in a bad headspace right now. Because I'm ride or dying with what CA has to put out, and so far they've been making bad decisions for my channel. So I might have to stop making a channel, but we'll see how it goes. It's the facts of life, though. Shit takes time. I can't have a job, do this, and have kids at the same time. So I either gotta do this and have kids, or have a job and have kids. Can't do all three. You can't. Can't do it. The non-multiplayer side of things, Legend going back to Warhammer 2 content for the last 2-3 months. Oh, so Legend's still doing stuff. Okay. I actually hadn't heard anything about him in a while. Dov is going great, though. Is it? I hadn't heard much about his channel recently. So you're Salt Lord Scuttle, but the second I ask you to play VP. I see. Highway Bandit, yes. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Because making videos is my least favorite part of the YouTube thing. I do it because it's good for the channel. It's fine. But my favorite part is streaming, interacting with you people, casting things, running tournaments, getting hyped for stuff. Videos is just kind of a thing I have to do, and it's all right. But if my life became like, Human Boy, you could just make videos every so often and then work your job and deal with kids, I'm like, that is the not fun part of the job. I would rather do a very rare stream and not do any videos than do videos and not stream. It's kind of like, I'm going to go into retirement. Being at the bakery was fun. I liked getting the leftovers. I liked talking to the customers, but waking up at 4 in the morning was a piece of shit. All right, listen, you can retire, but what if you wake up at 4 in the morning, come into the office and make us some donuts, but then you don't get any of the leftovers at the end of the day and you don't get to talk to customers? What if you do the shitty part, but neither of the good parts? I'm like, pass. All right. Oh, how the fuck did this happen? Oh, no! Ogres and Nurgle for Dr. Jellyfish. Matt is hovering Zinch. Okay, it hasn't been picked yet. I just checked the chat. It hasn't been picked yet for sure. If Matt goes Zinch, Dr. Jellyfish should 100% go Ogres. Nurgle versus Zinch is so bad for Nurgle. It's so bad. Like, if your opponent just spams 5 pink horrors, 5 blue horrors, the rest of their army doesn't matter. You just lose. It's magic fire damage. It's so good against Nurgle. You can't fight that. Oh, please don't. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But please don't. Don't do it. Legend is planning to quit streaming this year and focus on doing video content. Really? That sucks, dude. The Warhammer scene is losing so many content creators. Now, be it, I never really liked Legends content because I'm just not that big into that style of play. I don't really like bugs. I like covering bugs, but I don't like using bugs to my advantage. He's a very systems gamer, and it feels like he treats the game like a Rubik's Cube, where he puts himself in a bad situation and tries to figure out the puzzle, where I like to play the game in a cinematic aspect, where I'm just like, you know what would be cool? Queek and a bunch of Storm Vermin that I renamed the Storm Vermin to the Crimson Guard, like he has in the stories. You know what would be cool? If I got a Chieftain and named him Ska, like Ska from the books, like Queek's companion, Ska. That would be cool. You know what else would be cool? Warp Fire Throwers are cool. I like Warp Fire Throwers. If Legend saw me play a campaign, he'd probably be like, what is this army? What is this army? You can't do anything with this. Why is he climbing the walls? Climbing the walls is inefficient. Why would you ever climb the walls? Just go in the gate and break the gate so that the enemy stands there jacking off all game. When the enemy's just jacking off all game, you can kill them at your leisure. And I'm like, nah, dude. climbing the walls looks sick as fuck. Rule of cool, baby, climb the walls. Legend would flame the shit out of my campaign play. You get up at 3:30 a.m. for construction. I was just making an example, Venge, of like, if I quit YouTube to get a job, I wouldn't want to make videos because I hate making videos. I like streaming, but streaming takes the most time. We still got no faction set. There's only so little options. Matthew is going Zinch, and then Dr. Jellyfish just flips right back over to Ogre Kingdoms because he's not suicidal. Legend wants kids too, and now he has the money to spare, so it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Couldn't Nurgle go full Forsaken Frontline of Spawn, or I don't know, game 3 units of theory crafting is hard. Sort of, but the Spawn just get gunned down by the pink and blue horrors pretty badly. Forsaken's probably the way to go over like Nurglings or Plague Bears though, because they'll just die by getting shot. I don't know. Blue Fire of Zinch is also a hell of a drug against Nurgle. Impersonating Legend on a Skaven voice would be peak voice acting. I don't know what his Skaven voice is, so. What's your current job? I am a test developer at the Mayo Clinic, where I'm in the mass spectrometry lab, and basically the short version of it is a new drug comes out, and they want to give patients that drug, but everybody's body reacts a little bit differently. So it's like, hey, if we have a new drug called Warpstone, if we give you 10 milligrams of Warpstone, in 8 hours, how much of it is left in you? Because let's say your body can only metabolize 8 milligrams in 8 hours. So every hour your body gets rid of 1 milligram. Your body specifically, because everybody's body is different. They give you 10, and then in 8 hours they give you 10. In 8 hours they give you 10. Well, every 8 hours you're accumulating 2 excess Warpstone, if that's the drug. And it'll build up in your body and kill you, right? So they have tests to prevent that. What they do is they'll give you your Warpstone, and then in 8 hours, you pee into a cup if its metabolic process goes through your kidneys, or if it's in your blood, they'll take some plasma, and they send it to me. And they're like, hey, we gave this guy Warpstone. We want to know how much is still in here so we know how much to give him or how little to give him. You know, we were just testing to see how quickly his body metabolizes it. So what I come up with is, since it's a new test, I have to figure out how to take a bottle of piss and just figure out how much Warpstone's in it, and then turn that into a process that people can repeat without me being there. Like a very simple, easy process for how to find Warpstone and pee. And then tell the lab how to do it, and then the lab can do it for hundreds and hundreds of patients every day for the rest of the time, and then I move on, and then the doctors hand me another. This time it's a vial of blood, and we want you to find mercury. And I'm like, okay, there is 1 gram of mercury in there. That person's probably going to die. And they're like, okay, right down that goes, right? So that's my job. The reason it sucks right now is when I first was hired, there were 4 mass spectrometers in my lab, one of which was for development only. The one of which that was for development only was brand new. I was like, hooray, the whole plan was development could work with this 1 mass spec, while the lab works with the other 3. Everybody can go to work at 8 in the morning. Everybody can leave at 5 p.m. Well, then the lab said, listen, your new mass spec is shiny. Our mass specs suck. And I'm like, yep, we bought ours later than you. It is newer. And they said, great. We're going to get rid of our 2 older ones, taking the lab down to 2 mass specs. We're going to use yours, and we're going to share. And the lab said, okay. And I said, that's probably not going to work. And the lab said, okay. So they got rid of their 2 mass specs. We were down to 2. Well, it turns out that that's not how math works. So they used all the time on our mass spec and all the time on the remaining mass spec. When was it open? Midnight every goddamn night. So I have deadlines to meet. I have to go in at midnight when the machine's open. But the doctor said, don't worry, Human Boy, whose real name is apparently Human Boy in this example. Human Boy, don't worry. We'll buy you another machine, a 3rd machine. That'll be just yours. Then the lab can have 2 machines. It'll go back to the old way, but instead of them having 3, they'll have 2, but both the 2 will be newer. Great. Perfect. Good. When was that conversation? A year ago. Still no new machine. So for the last year, I've been working nights and weekends almost exclusively. I don't hate my job. I hate when I have to do my fucking job, because I worked 3 years on nights in a normal lab. Then I went to days for 6 months. Then I got a promotion to this lab that I was told when I got hired was 9 to 5. A normal fucking schedule for a normal fucking person. Turns out it's just a night job again. So, that's why I hate my job. And that's also why I can stream, because I'm here. But I'm still, as soon as my contract with these guys is up, I'm going to be looking for a new job that isn't in the middle of the goddamn night, which means I can't stream at good hours, right? What is happening with this build phase? All right, Dr. Jellyfish is going Nurgle after all, so he had to reset. Okay, Nurgle versus Tzeentch. Let's see if Dr. Jellyfish can win this matchup, because like I literally have never seen this one by Nurgle. I've only seen it 3 times, but that's because all 3 times I saw it, it was so terrible. I understand why I never see it. So what you need is mass spectrometers. Yes. Should we send you P? Yes. Send me P in the mail. I'm sure this has no issues. I'm sure that won't ever be clipped out either. Got sent an article. There's a Neanderthal gene that breaks down medicine more slowly. What the hell is excess warpstone? So do I get night shift bonus? No, because I'm salary. So I make the same amount every year no matter what. Which, before you start with like the, you know, man, that sucks to be you and whatever stuff, it honestly doesn't. Like, as much as I would love to bitch and moan about my position, I'm very lucky, and I know that, because the whole reason I could start streaming is I work about 25 to 30 hours a week. Now, granted, that 25 to 30 hours a week is in the middle of the fucking night, but I can't get 40 hours of work a week in on the machines when the lab is using them all the time. So every time I have a status update meeting, I give them the updates of my projects, present all my information, and then at the end I throw in, hey, can I get some time during the day? And it's always, we'll think about it. So then at our performance reviews, whenever my manager is talking to me and she's just like, I noticed your hours are a little low. And I'm like, literally, what do you want me to do about that? And she's like, I don't know. And I'm like, good talk. Every couple of months. Actually, to be fair, how the conversation always goes is I'm like, literally, what do you want me to do about that? And she says, I'll talk to some people. And then a month later, she'll be like, your hours are a little low. And I'm like, literally, what do you want me to do about that? And she's like, I'll talk to some people. And then a month later, she's like, your hours are a little low. And I'm like, literally, what do you want me to do about that? And then she's like, I'll talk to some people. And I'm like, God! And then a month later, she's like, hey, your hours are a little bit low. Did you know that? I'm like, yes, I fucking know that! Talk to somebody! Ah! I hate my job. So your job description is pestilent schemer, since you deal with piss. Yeah. Right now, what are my projects? Leaky gut is a urine assay, and then albumin and ceramides 2.0 are blood assays. So I'm 2/3 blood, 1/3 piss, but yes. And then sell it to Google. That was an interesting outburst to come in. Hey, Rebecca, how you doing? I get you don't like performance reviews, yeah. It's just annoying because it's very corporate and like nothing ever gets done. This is overly simplified and very biased, but I'm very much like a person that if there's a leaky faucet, I fix it. And in the corporate environment I work in, it's like, hey, did you see there's a leaky faucet? I did. Let's schedule a meeting for 2 weeks from now to fix the leaky faucet. All right. 2 weeks later at the meeting. Okay. Are there any plumbers here? No, we didn't invite any plumbers to the meeting. All right. Well, let's schedule a meeting in about 3 more weeks. This time, let's include a council of plumbers. Okay. 3 weeks later, council of plumbers assembles. All right, guys, how should we handle this? One plumber says we should fix the leak, and the other 2 are like, I don't know about that. Let's discuss it at the next meeting after we ask our supervisors what we should do about this leak. Okay. 2 weeks later, there's another meeting. All right, did any of the plumbers show up? No, one's out on PTO today. The other one just had a baby, so he's on paternity leave. Okay, great. Let's reconvene in about a month. to see where we're at with this leak thing. A month later, hey, where are we at with the leak? And all the plumbers are like, I don't know, we didn't decide how we're going to fix it yet. Oh, yeah, we should fix it. Okay, I'll go do that. Fixed. Could have done that a couple months ago. But okay. That's just like how I feel with every meeting. It's like a performance meeting is like, okay, let's go through the review again. I know all the steps. You're going to ask me why I didn't get my hours done. I'm going to tell you that I literally can't. And then you're going to say I'll talk to some people. You won't talk to some people. And a month later, we'll be back here talking about the same thing again. Every fucking month. Oh, God. It's terrible. So I'm not about it. How much do you make if it's not a secret? About $50,000 a year-ish. Yeah, after taxes, about $50,000 a year. Yeah, so it's fine. It's good money. Like, everything around the job is good. The job itself just pisses me off a lot. But, like, good benefits, good pay. It's fine. And Mayo has been a good employer. Like, I say a lot of negative stuff, but Mayo is a good employer overall. They have a good health plan. They care a lot about their employees. They do raises pretty fairly. They're pretty generous with, like, PTO and shit. Like, they're a good employer. I'm a person that is very task-oriented. I feel good when I check boxes off of a list. That's the type of person I am. When I do chores, I have a whiteboard out in the landing. I write down all my chores for the day, and every time I do one, I erase it, because that's, like, how I feel accomplished. And my job right now is very meetings-based, very corporate, very integrated, and it's very difficult for me to see a result of what I did. You know what I mean? Because if I ever do anything, it gets passed on down the line, right? So it's not. I'm never there for the I made a widget. This is my widget that I made. I'm sending it off into the world. You know, it's very much like 3 months later, I'll get an email that says you were a part of this process that ended up being this thing, and it's kind of like, cool, I guess. And I just keep working on my other stuff. So, I don't know. The job's not a good fit for me. Because before this, I worked in the lab. And I actually enjoyed that in a way. It wasn't a perfect job, but one thing I did like was exactly what I was just talking about. I had to process hundreds and hundreds of samples the exact same way every day. It wasn't that hard. I'm not trying to pretend that I'm a god. I am so good at this. It's just I was part of an assembly line pretty much for patient samples. But man, at the end of the day, when you looked at that giant pile of crates and know that, like, you got 1,000+ patient results out the door, you're just like, I can see what I did today, and I feel good about it. Oh, I feel good. This job is a lot more like, you're part of a bigger picture, and for me, that's just not as good of a fit. I like making widgets. I like being dumb monkey brain off, monkey assemble part, monkey has thing. You missed the excrement. I love when your manager brings up an issue like that and all you can say is there's nothing I can do to fix it. Yeah. There's so many different fields entirely. This picture of corporate life sounds 100% accurate. All right. We had a long build phase. I know. We got there. It's Nurgle versus Tzeentch. This is one of the worst matchups in the game for Nurgle, but I am actually pretty excited to see what Dr. Jellyfish decides to do about it. Love it to the response of how. It's just wonderful. You don't have to take jabs at my workplace. I'm sorry. Blood and other bodily products sums up corporate life pretty well. Oh yeah, that sounds good. How much did you make as a grad? I want to know because I'm going to start working soon. I worked in cancer research as a secretary. So, like, my first job out of college, I was at the front desk and, like, people would check in for their treatment and I would, like, you know, ask them about their symptoms and then take them into a room and, like, measure their tumors and indicate whether there was growth or recession. I also did phone calls to patients in hospice care to see how long they lived post-treatment. It was pretty dire. But that one I made, like, $40,000 a year. Like, somewhere in that range, like $24, $25 an hour, something like that, Cyrus. So, yeah. If you're in STEM, I mean, I can only speak for the United States, but if you're in STEM, science, technology, something math, engineering and math or whatever, you're going to get a pretty good income, which is why I got that degree. I don't love chemistry, but I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, so I'm like, well, I'll just get a safe, well-paying job, so I got a chemistry degree while I tried to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. And then I learned I like shouting at a video game on YouTube, and now I'm here. Woo! Woo! Random Nicks. I like that. Nurgle versus Zinch. If Nurgle wins this, we live in a society. All right, well, we're getting the Crabbling special from Dr. Jellyfish. Crabbling, last time I streamed that he was in the tournament, he used Herald of Nurgle on Rotfly a lot. He really seemed to like it, and he made it look pretty good. He does have armor piercing. He is pretty fast. The only thing is he's rather squishy compared to the Exalted Great and Clean One, or Kugoth, and no Mortis Engine. But against Zinch, your Mortis Engine is going to be that helpful because he's just going to shoot you. As for Zinch, it's exactly what I was worried about for Nurgle's sake. We have 8 pink and blue horrors mixed. That's a lot of Daka to deal with. A front line of Force Forsaken, a Herald of Zinch with blue fire and pink fire. Then we have 2 Screamers and 2 Furies as a pretty solid air force. Zinch is going to walk forward. They're going to shoot anything that walks at them. Nurgle is probably going to die. What Nurgle will try to do not to die is triple Furies. We have, oh god, why Plague Toads? Triple Plague Toads. Why Plague Toads? Why? Quadruple Nurglings, 4 Forsaken, and 2 Spawn. Why? Why Plague Toads? Please, God, not the Plague Toads. They're so bad. How's it going, Cuden? Pretty good. The stream's vibing. The games haven't been that bad, which is nice. We've had some actually pretty decent games. Did you pick that area in university? Yeah, I did chem, biochem, and molecular biology double major in college because while that sounds impressive, after getting a chemistry major done for the University of Minnesota Duluth where I went to school, I needed to take like 7 more classes to get molecular biology and biochem double major, and to get a business minor I would have had to take like 15 more classes because there was just no overlap, so I just did it. It seemed fine. In summary, corporate is dumb and annoying. True. Though I'm hoping my next job I can either work at a board game company or do YouTube stuff, but I've made a lot of board games. On the shelf behind me I have 4 betas that are made and ready to be produced or bounced around. I have 1 game that is finished and is currently for sale, but making the game has been fun and great and awesome. Selling it is the really hard part, which would be nice to join a corporation that knows how to do that better, and then I could just make games. Though I'm not an idiot, I also know that if you join a corporation to make stuff, they're going to have a pretty heavy hand in what you make. I get that, but I think I need their marketing expertise if I'm going to push forward in that front. So if streaming doesn't work out, I'll probably got to try to get a job at Asmodee in the Twin Cities. Or there was another one, I forgot their name, but they're in Denver. Those were 2 that were looking promising. If streaming doesn't work out. So we'll find out in January if I'm doing that shit or if I will stay with you people forever. I'm STEM in Europe, guessing 2,800 a month is normal here. Yeah, probably. STEM is safe wherever you go. The power of Kermit. Maybe. Blue Fire starts off. I'm guessing we'll have Shugi Lord problems as a small flying target. Wow, Blue Fire of Zinch, that was a terrible cast. Jesus Christ, it went like mostly over him. Anyway, Blue Fire of Zinch has a hard time hitting small aerial targets, which, considering how strong the spell is overall, that's not a bad thing that it for once can't hit something, but not great for Zinch, unfortunately. He has no better targets really for Blue Fire though, so it's still a good target to cast at. It just won't be as effective as it usually would be. Now we get to see the power of the pretty disco lights. Disco lights, assemble! Slay your foes with prejudice! Up, leg spike. Come on. Slay the foes with prejudice. Ah! Ah, the disco lights of doom! Why is this happening, foul chaos gods? Yeah, Forsaken are surviving it okay. Nurglings wouldn't, and Chaos Bomb sure as fuck won't. They're gonna take a lot of damage from that with their measly 10 armor. Flyers will have to get involved pretty soon. Herald of Tzeentch is standing a little close to the Herald of Nurgle. I wonder if the Nurgle guy just wants to go into melee combat. It doesn't look like he does. Pink Fire of Tzeentch, quick cast here from Matt. Looks like it was overcasted judging by the damage he just took, but it's doing some good damage. You can see the Forsaken are largely getting shredded by this backline. The front line of Tzeentch isn't doing so great. The Forsaken are getting killed, but you can see Tzeentch is already out about 2-1 in the damage value lead. And the Furies of Tzeentch are running away from the Furies of Nurgle. They really should just take that fight, because they want to protect their backline. Furies of Tzeentch will probably lose the Furies of Nurgle in the straight-up fight, but that's not their point. You need them to protect your shooties. So I really don't like them running away. You can see the Screamers and Furies have yet to get involved, and now some pink and blue horrors are having to run away or just getting outright compromised. That is a bit of a problem here for Tzeentch. On the right flank, I do like this. Furies fighting Nurglings is fine, and then if these Screamers could get a rear charge on these Forsaken and break them off, you could get a little pocket of safety where these two pink horrors can fire infinitely across the front line, and Nurgle is just faltering everywhere you see it. Big blob fight that Nurgle is winning, but god, look at the health bars in there. That Spawn's almost dead. We have Forsaken routing, Furies crumbling. Nurgle's just not getting out of this for free. Herald of Nurgle's doing fine. He's got some healing throughout this, and ooh, Screamers and Furies fighting just Furies of Nurgle is going to be a win. Now, Dr. Jellyfish is pushing through the front line. He's taking out a lot of the pink horrors, which is good. I mean, there's only 2 that are left free-firing, which is really good performance from him. And again, I don't think you should Lord Snipe in this matchup, unless it's Kugath. But with a Herald of Nurgle on his Rotfly, just shoot all the infantry, leave him on his own, deal with him at the end of the game. He's too small, which makes him indirectly tanky, so you can't finish him off, and he's just going to heal himself a bunch, and meanwhile, you're going to get yourself killed on the ground. So definitely focus on just the Forsaken, the Spawn, and all that stuff. Fury's still getting onto pink horrors is a pretty big mistake here, unfortunately, from the Tzeentch player. He had such aerial superiority. The fact that he hasn't been able to control where these Nurgle Furies go is a little disappointing, I will say. But it doesn't look like it's too bad. Screamer's chasing around the Herald of Nurgle. Again, I don't know. Probably just save your backline from the Furies. Because if you snipe the Herald of Nurgle, that's nice, but it's not what's going to win you the game. The pink horrors firing are going to win you the game, so keep him safe. Another blue fire cast. Very nice. Now that he's on the ground, he doesn't evade nearly as many of the shots and takes a lot more damage. Thankfully, these are still horrors of Tzeentch, so they'll just beat the Furies in melee combat. That's very nice for Matt. Balance power turns quite decisive against Nurgle. Now, Nurgle is closer on the damage value balance power than I would have guessed, so I think Jellyfish has been playing well. It's just a cursed matchup. All the Toads are dead, it does appear. Rip in peace, Toads. We just have some Nurglings and some Forsaken left. But for Tzeentch, he's not looking too hot either. For shooters, we have 2 pink horrors, one of which is about to get completely compromised. So we have 1 pink horror left shooting, and a Lord at full HP with almost no ammo. If Nurgle can get some serious healing out on these Nurglings, he might be able to carry this game, but it is looking tough for him, I would agree. Pink horrors slowly dying to Forsaken Nurglings, but with a full health, blue horrors running up here, they'll hold forever, and these pink horrors should be able to win this fight easily enough. I do think Tzeentch is going to take this game. But Dr. Jellyfish did better than I would have thought, so I'll give him that one. I like Toads in this matchup. In campaign, the Toads are fast enough to blast through my blues and hit the pinks. Semester I want to do technical bachelor extra. It's pretty easy to do. Technical management. Ooh. They have no links to this, to your games on this channel. I don't? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I can do that after the next game. Cosmo, I got this. You know what? Fuck it. Real quick. Boom. Boom. There you go, Cosmo. It's in the chat. Alrighty. For Nurgle, it is just a half-health Nurgling, a Forsaken with healing cap in sight, and a Herald of Nurgle who is actually going to be heal capped within a second here, versus just so much Daka. So much Daka left. The balance of power is not being honest about Nurgle here. Remember that the Ogres had less balance of power in game 1 at this point? When they actually still had a shot in this game? Nurgle just does not. Some friendly fire from Tzeentch is actually going to take out a lot of the air core. Screamers are also going to fade away pretty soon. And a nice stream of corruption will do some shield damage, but unfortunately not a lot of real damage. Herald of Nurgle's getting lower and lower, and Nurglings are sprinting forward, but I think with the Herald of Tzeentch going into melee combat, this will end very, very soon. Very soon. Cosmo, if you are international and you realize that the shipping, like, to get the game to you plus shipping would be $90 total, and you think that's a lot, it is a lot. We're working on that. But shipping stuff is a bitch, sir. The video is 18 seconds behind, chat? That's weird. Try refreshing your page. Well, maybe not, because there's a delay on stream in case, like, someone is, you know, watching the stream and playing at the same time, so I'm not, like, cheating by telling them, you know, oh, there's this in the Vanguard, and it's like, oh, okay, that shit's behind me. But, you know, if they hear it 30 seconds late, it's, like, probably not going to be that relevant anymore. All right, for Tzeentch, Blue Horrors all about paid for themselves, or did more. Air Force for Tzeentch did fine. Pink Horrors all did fine. Forsaken actually did better than I would have thought, but I thought they just got mostly trashed on. The Herald of Tzeentch got about 2,700 value. Herald of Nurgle, 1,200 value, did pretty well. Chaos Spawn didn't get a lot done. Forsaken did okay. Oh, God, the Frogs all got like 250 value or under, pretty much. Oh, it's brutal. Furies did fine. Nurglings did okay. Dude, I just wish the Toads were better. One of the changes that really hurts the Toads is Cavalry charging people and knocking them over instead of dealing damage. Like, that's a big deal. And I'm very curious how the Warhammer 1 and 2 factions will function with Cavalry being that way, unless they're going to change how knockdown works. But that is, in case you had, like, have wondered when you're like, oh, Jade Lancers have very similar damage values to Empire Knights, why does it take them so long to kill anything? That is a large part of it, man. Charges against infantry just don't do nearly as much damage as they did in games 1 and 2. All right. Well, no, wait. I was thinking for some reason it was Kiara. Kiara's not here. Kiara was in yesterday's. We have Coops! Coops versus Matthew B969. Can he do it? Human ran a tournament and streamed a few games of it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Puppet Masters, yeah. It's a good game. We're working on the shipping costs. The problem is I got a distributor on board that can lower my shipping costs because they can send things in bulk. But the problem is the distributor is doing almost none of the work on the marketing front. So I somehow, which I don't know how this is supposed to work, which is why I'm currently sending them pretty heated emails behind the scenes. But the distributor, when they signed on with me, they talked a big game, and then now that we're actually a team, they're like, okay, so go sell your game to a bunch of people, and then when they want to buy it, they'll come here. And I'm like, that's not what you said, but okay. Regardless, I have to somehow market this to a bunch of stores, and then when a store over in like Europe says, I'll buy 6, and then a different store in Europe goes, I'll buy 5, and a different store in Europe, yada yada. Eventually, you get like 100 games that you can sell. You can put them all in a big box, send them over to Europe for, let's say, $100. 100 games, $100. Boom, big box that goes on a boat. That is $1 extra per game. Well, currently, if you order a box off my site, I have to send it to you through customs and stuff. The shipping on that one box is going to be about $40. So that's $40 extra charge onto one game. Which is why the international cost is so fucking expensive. Which is why I need a distributor. And I got one. And then they're shits. Now I'm trying to do marketing. And marketing is hard. Very hard. Blech. Makes sense. Coding probably accounts for most of that delay. Famous stream sniper Coops? Yeah. Coops is a scumlord, for sure. Coops is a bad person. I've never had a positive interaction with someone named Coops. Alrighty. Coops. Coops picks Grand Cathay, bans Kislev. Nurgle can do okay here. I have a build I really like as Cathay versus Nurgle, but if Coops doesn't know that exact build, Nurgle can have a pretty good shot. Also, if Nurgle doesn't go fucking double Soul Grinder, they'll be fine. Because I think double Soul Grinder is a trap versus Cathay and Kislev. I've talked about it a million times, so I'll leave it alone, but I think if Nurgle goes wider, they have a better shot versus Cathay than double Soul Grindy. So Nurgle could do okay. Ogres can do okay. I mean, we saw Matt play Ogres versus Dr. Jellyfish's Cathay, and one mistake might have cost him the game, but it's still pretty Cathay favored. Could do the Cathay Mirror. That might be the best, honestly. Just do the Cathay Mirror. And then on your next round, you could go Kislev, ban Kislev. And then with Cathay being off the table, and you banned Kislev, you could have Kislev versus inferior factions. That'd probably be the play, would be my thought. Human boy, I will die on the Nurgle Soul Grinder is Garbage Hill. Are you saying that you will also die on that hill, Zep? Or are you saying that I am the person that will die on that hill? Because I will. I think the Nurgle Soul Grinder is garbage. I am consistent in my belief that the Nurgle Soul Grinder is bad. It's an okay melee combatant if that's what you're using it for, but people try to use it as a kiting artillery piece, and I just don't believe in it. Feels like it sucks. I agree with you. Good. Yeah. I just like... I don't know, man. I made an entire video about it, but they miss so often. They miss so often. If they hit, they do okay damage, but there are so many times where I was like... There was a video I made about this entire... this Kislev game Kiara was playing against, and Kiara's double soul grinders were shooting at Kossars and just like medium range, well within the soul grinder's range, not even at the tip of it, well within the soul grinder's range. Kossars were standing still and shooting, and the soul grinder fires off 3 globs. 1 lands in front of him and 2 land behind him, and I'm just like, why are you so inaccurate? Why? Your like shots don't even do that much damage if they hit, so why are you so inaccurate? I don't know, man. And why don't they have a poisoned wind effect? I don't understand how Nurgle doesn't have a single poisoned wind effect. That, like, you know, if he hits something, it does damage over time. How? Like, how does he not? How did the Skaven have it and Nurgle doesn't? Nurgle's like the OG decay pestilence guy. I don't know. I think everyone in the whole world can agree this game needs more poison wind. Everybody loved poison wind. People, the only comments in Warhammer 2 were, God, I love how Skaven used Poison Wind in every matchup. I don't like Rat Ogres. I don't like Brood Horrors. I don't like Hell Pit Abominations, Mr. Human Boy. But I fucking love Poison Wind. When those green globes hit my Chaos Warriors and they just fucking die, I love that shit. It's super interactive. When I have archers that stand still for a second to fire off a volley and a single Poison Wind mortar lands on them and they lose like a quarter of their health, Human Boy, that is just interactive gameplay that we need more of. Yes, I agree. Petition CA immediately. Get more Poison Wind effects for Nurgle. I feel like I might have gone a little off the chain there. Kugoth only has a little less damage, is way more accurate. True. I want to die on a hill so people have to carry my carcass down. Because Poison Wind is broken. No, that's a meme. People hate Poison Wind. But I would say that I think Nurgle Soul Grinders, or not Kugoth. I kind of like how Kugoth works right now with his range attack. He's overpowered in other aspects, but I like that his toss is a cannonball that can be dodged, but if it hits, it does a lot of damage. I like that. But I think the Soul Grinders should probably have like a Poison Wind effect. If they're going to be this crazy and accurate, at least when they hit something, it's like, slowly decaying. As opposed to like this glowing green ball hits, lands in an explosion of mist. You're like, don't breathe in the mist. Oh, wait, actually, it's fine. You can breathe in the mist. It's whatever. I think that'd be a positive change. I love only bringing cheap infantry against Skaven. Yeah, let's go. Ikit nukes in multiplayer 2024. We'll get Ikit nukes in multiplayer before we get chat back. I guarantee you, we're not getting chat back. All right, Matthew is going with Grand Cathay. We get the Cathay mirror. Let's just get it out of the way. I'm all out of tea. This sucks. I'm leaving. I don't give a shit anymore. Coops, finish the stream. I don't want to do this part of the stream. upset, just come in here. Alright. I can't follow you around all day, Mr. Kitty. It's not like Skaven are interesting as they are now. It's just warpstone balls. Yeah. What are we talking about? Oh, yeah, there was so speaking of drinks, yesterday I opened the fridge and I noticed there was a puddle beneath my... we have a gallon of milk because... I don't have to explain myself to you. But there was a puddle beneath this gallon of milk and I was like, oh, that's leaking. But I'm in the middle of a League of Legends game and I had just died, so I was grabbing sparkling water real quick. So I'm like, mental note, milk is leaking in the fridge. Got it. Went back to my League of Legends game. 6 hours later, Grace and I are out with some friends. We went to this like festival before we came back and played Pandemic Legacy Season 0, which we got fucked. But aside from that, I was out with some friends and we were in the middle of the night market, and for literally no reason, I just remembered that our milk was leaking in the fridge, and I was like, shit, you guys have to remind me when we get home to check on the milk. And then we did, and we came back, and like, I swear there was like about an inch or two of milk in this like pool that our thing's sitting in the door. So it's in this like, you know, plastic bucket or whatever in the door of the fridge. So now all my milk is in water bottles because we have like these, you know, screw top water bottles from when we go on hikes or bike rides or something. So there's just a fucking bunch of water bottles in the fridge that are full of milk. And when I had cereal this morning, I just take out a water bottle, open it, like pour a bunch out, and then recap it. Just like, it felt so fucking weird. Nobody loses at Pandemic Noob. What up, Danielo? It's going good. Once during a game of Dota, I spilled my whole glass soda on my... Didn't want to go AFK. I ended up being like that for 45 minutes and I lost the damn match. That is so awful. I'm sorry you had to do that, Cheeky Diggy. And Jeremy, nobody loses a Pandemic. We were playing Pandemic Legacy Season 0, so it's like the Cold War, and you're trying to fight the Ruskies and whatever. And we sit down, and we get... If you don't know how to play if you don't know how to play Pandemic, you draw cards, and like, you're trying to cure diseases, but occasionally you'll draw these cards that is like a big outbreak of disease, right? So I'm just going to say that. But anybody who knows how to play Pandemic, you get what I'm talking about. We drew, on our first turn, we drew an outbreak card that we're like, fuck! So we have to shuffle all the cards back into the deck, at the top of the deck, that have already been infected. We have had one turn, so we haven't cleaned up any disease. So pretty much the news report says, a bunch of fucking people are sick in these cities. And then they got worse, and there was a bunch of outbreaks. We hadn't been able to clean up anything. We hadn't been able to do anything. So, but then, like, if you have an outbreak too big in a city, it'll spread to the next city. Well, if that city's already having an outbreak, it'll spread to the next cities. So it's like a cascading effect. So we almost ran out of chips, which is how you lose the game. Like, if there's too much disease, you lose the game. We almost ran out of chips on turn 1! And we're like, what are we supposed to do? So we spent most of the fucking campaign cleaning up all this shit, trying not to immediately lose the game. You have objectives you're supposed to be completing. It's not just like cleaning shit up. So all of our action economy was stuck fixing things because we started the game with a triple outbreak from one outbreak card. It was so fucked up. And then we got a bunch more, and you get 4 event cards that are like these cool things you can do, like event card, Mother Teresa comes back from the dead. She shows up in this city, cleans up all the disease in every city around it. It's so cool. Out of our 4 cards, 3 of them were in the last 5 cards in the entire deck. We checked after we lost the fucking game. We got slaughtered. It was terrible. Ugh. We got murdered. The Russians won that one pretty hardcore. All right, drank my water, loaded into the game, and people started deploying their builds. Who's this? For Coops, for Dr. Coops, double Grand Cannon of Cathay, 1 Fire Rain rocket after the last update, patch 1.2. I started seeing a little bit more Fire Rain rockets. They got buffs after buffs after buffs. They seemed actually pretty impressive, and then they fell off the face of the earth, so I don't know how they're doing, but last couple times I fought against one, they're pretty good. Jade Warrior Crossman, 1 shields, 1 without for Coops. Other than that, we have Jade Warriors, and we have Peasant Long Spearmen. Double Jade Lancers, Dragon Blooded Shugan Lord of Yin with the Summon, Talons, wait, not Talons, whoa. Excuse me, Cloak of Jet, Missile Mirror, and Ancestral Warriors. Then we have an Astrancer on foot with only Thunderbolt for spells. In the far side, we have 1 Peasant Horseman in the Vanguard. On the other side, for Matt, we have triple cannon. Triple Jade Warrior Crossmen, Jade Lancers, Peasant Horsemen, Jade Lancers. A front line of only 5 Jade Warriors. Okay, and 4 Peasant Longspearmen. There we go. And Dragonblooded Shugen, Lord of Yin, with Missile Mirror, Talons of Night, and Cloak of Chet. So slightly different ways on handling the spell count. Where is all of Koops' money? It feels like Koops' build is just smaller. Because 3 cannons for 3 cannons. I mean, yeah, one's a fire rain rocket, so Koops is slightly more expensive there, but not much. 2 archers versus 3. So Matt has more archers. Matt has better cav, because he has 1 more Peasant Horseman than Koops. And they have, like, the same infantry. I guess he just doesn't have an Astromancer. Weird. The blue army just feels a lot bigger than it should. Oh, well. Love the assault. You should cross out Russia MP and change it to China. This is Total Warhammer 3 doing Total War 3 Empires better than 3 Empires did 3 Empires. I think you mean 3 Kingdoms, sir. Dude, when people talk about Shogun, I sometimes get the itch to go play Shogun again. I'm just burnt out. I played a lot of Shogun single player. A lot. And every time I start it up, I get to like turn 10 before I burn out. The UI and like the unit responsiveness improvements from Total Warhammer 2 and 3 compared to Shogun is so rough. Where I'm like, all right, Ashigaru Bowmen, fire. And their arrows are so hard to see if they're even shooting. They don't target what you want them to target a lot. It's kind of janky. Like, it's a great game, but it's definitely like, it feels its age, and it hurts. It hurts to play. Dun 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 da da dun 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 da da dun dun dun. So for Koops, the firing rocket's gonna help a lot at clearing out the enemy army. The only problem for him is gonna be he's gonna lose the cannon duel, because 2 cannons versus 3 is not gonna win. In a firing rocket and a cannon duel, its range isn't quite what the cannons are. You can see it doesn't quite reach the cannon, so it'd have to move up slightly. But even then, it's like not nearly as focused as the cannons are. So the firing rocket's less good in an artillery duel than another cannon, but it would be much better at clearing out these archers or front line. 3 kingdoms? Did they have kings? I thought they were supposed to go for the emperor vibe. Yeah. Rinless, next time we play Shogun, message you. I haven't played multiplayer Shogun since I played it with my brother, and we had I think it was the Darth mod or something, where it unlocks all of the factions, not just the main ones, so you can play as any random fuck. That was kind of fun. We played as, though, like, these are 2 actual main clans. I played as the Shimazu, and he played as the Otomo, I think. The Otomo are, like, those blue and white flagged ones that have already accepted Christianity, and they have, like, gun peasants. And we took over that southern island very, very quickly, and then we just expanded up slowly through Japan as an unstoppable force. It was fun. I mean, it was easy because we were co-oping and whatever, but not everything has to be a challenge. Sometimes you just have good old-fashioned fun. And that was a fucking game where I had a general that was like, he was my son, he was set to take over, my old ass was gonna die any day, and he was great. My son was great. And then, like, my general unit had full health, but an archer tower kills like 3 models out of my whole general's unit. And that fucking announcer comes up and he's like, "My lord, our general has fallen in battle." And I'm like, "You what? How did my son die? There's so many of his bodyguards." And his bodyguards just saw the arrow coming and were like, "Nope, not me. Nope, not me." And my son was looking like, "What? Oh my god." And then, like, I died of old age that year, so my entire family command structure, like, collapsed for a bit, and my brother had to, my real-life brother had to do most of the work while I just figured out how my family was gonna survive. It was rough. Alright. So the cannon duel has begun. It looks like we're getting a Talons of Night cast on the firing rocket. If it's overcast, it actually could delete this entire unit, which would be real bad for Koops. Real bad for the boy Koops. But it looks like it is undercast, so he will probably survive with minimal-ish damage, which is a good trade. Triple cannons have already deleted one of the red cannons, unfortunately for Koops. He will rally and come back. He has 2 cannon models left, so he'll be roughly okay. 1 cannon model left. Oh, hey, the cannon bug that I made a video about, but has the video come out yet? I think. Anyway, the cannon bug's back. That cannon is still alive, but his ammo went away, so we can't remount it. Thank you, CA, for somehow bringing a bug you fixed back. Alright. Meanwhile, blue team has lost one cannon. They're running away. They still have their ammunition, so at least one of these models is alive. Fire rain rocket is just destroying the front line like I talked about. It won't help that much in the artillery duel, but man, it does work on the infantry part. Peasant horsemen are going to engage peasant horsemen. Who will win? The fate of the world is resting on not their shoulders, so I don't really care. Fire rain rocket's still doing pretty good work against these archers. And the Shugi Lord of Yin is moving up. Is she going to cast Missile Mirror, or what's your plan here to deal with these cannons? Because time's running out for the fire rain rockets. They still have one living battery, so they could get back on it late in the game as long as that cannonball doesn't kill it. Alright, cool. Nope, dead. Alright, Ancestral Warrior Summon is chucked out. It does good damage to the Grand Cannon, but it'll have a hard time chasing him down. Ancestral Warriors are slow as fuck, so they might as well fight these Peasant Longspearmen for a bit. Koops is going to eventually win the artillery duel, which is actually surprising to me. But I'm pretty sure his last cannon can beat that cannon that's almost dead and out of leadership. Interesting. Cavalry fight on the far side looks like it's going to Matthew at the moment, and on the near side it's going to Koops, so pretty even trades across the board there. Koops, having the only artillery piece left standing at the moment, can dictate the flow of battle, so it looks like Matthew's going to have to move up into him. Both sides have suffered such horrendous damage to their artillery pieces that really neither has that strong of an advantage anymore. Like, one half-ammunition cannon that's busy still trying to make sure it has cannon dominance isn't going to kill that many infantry before the fighting starts, so it doesn't matter. It's all down to infantry quality. Which, we do have an Astromancer for Koops, and his Aren's Thunderbolt is not to be fucked with, so that if there's any blob of troops, Aren's Thunderbolt at the wrong time for the blue team can just really destroy them. So I don't think Koops is in bad shape here. I'd probably say he's favored, and the damage indicator would say so as well. Where's it coming? Where's it coming? Where's it coming? Okay. A little bit of a tickling of these Jade Warriors Crossmen. Looks like they sort of dodged by stopping for a little bit there. Koops' one cannon is still maintaining cannon superiority. Aw, dispersed. Yeah. What are these? Is that an Ancestral Warrior Summon? Wow, kind of surprised Koops has that much Winds of Magic. So there's the second and last Ancestral Warrior Summon. They're going to chase after the Jade Warrior Crossmen, who have 2 more speed than the Ancestral Warriors. With charge bonus, they might be able to catch up to these Crossmen, but as long as they get consistent pathing orders to run away, they'll largely be fine. Ooh, but they are taking Overwatch fire the entire time they're running. So yeah, things are going pretty good for Koops. El Cooperton. A Brutal Talons of Night, if it's overcasted, it'll delete this entire Jade Warrior unit, opening up a hole in the front line. Unfortunately, the other Jade Warrior is also lost in the process, so nothing can push through that front line just yet. But that was definitely overcast. Yeah, it deletes an entire unit. Jade Lancers fighting Jade Lancers. It looks like Matthew's getting the upper hand over there, while some Peasant Longspearmen come to offer their support. Koops' one cannon is still dominating. Matthew spawns infinite extra cannons. My God. I love that bug. I actually love that bug. I hope it never goes away because it always makes me laugh when you just see a hillside full of cannons for like a second. It's only if you're holding the space bar and you can see where units are being ordered, so it's a very minor bug that I don't mind being in the game. Alright, this cannon got knocked off of its mount, but since you see it still has ammunition, you can tell that some of these cannon models are still alive. Nothing to fear here. If all of its ammunition disappears all of a sudden, that's how you know all of its cannon mounts are dead. Which is weird, because in Total Warhammer 2, like, cannon crews could go to different cannons, so I don't know why it does that in this game, but whatever, who cares? Who gives a shit? This is prime targeting right now for a Thunderbolt. If his Astromancer has the Winds of Magic, this would be really nice, catching like 3 infantry units blobbed up. Or if either of them had the Dragon's Breath attack, but they don't, which is sad. Also, dude, fuck Cathay for not having a single dragon with a breath attack in this game. That's just not allowed. Missile Mirror is cast onto the Grand Cannons of Matt, and they have really low health in 4 models. They have to be extremely careful. If they fire right now, they'll probably just finish themselves off. Will they fire? They have orders onto these crossbows, but then the lag spike hits, potentially saving the Grand Cannon. Does it shoot itself? Ooh, very nice Talons of Night cast. If that's overcast, it's going to kill 2 units again. Fire, you dumb bastards. Fire! Do it! Shoot me! Yes! Fucked themselves up. And some Jade Lancers charging them as they've deleted half of their own models. Oh, Missile Mirror, you're a very entertaining spell. I love it. I legit like Missile Mirror. It's a neat spell. That was a good Townsend cast. It looks like it was undercast. It only took half health off of each thing, but it was still a good cast. These Jade Warrior Crossmen almost going to end up on top of each other. Could be good targets for Koops' cannon that's still out here, still kicking, still thriving, still alive. And Matthew's trying to cycle charge Koops' lord, or is Koops trying to charge his lord? I don't know who is the aggressor in this situation, but it is a battle of fates, a duel of fates, as twin sisters try to kill each other for indiscernible reasons. Ooh, a full health peasant long spearman in the back corner for Matthew is a bit of a tragedy for this late in the game. Big old blob fight over here. Unfortunately, I think if Koops used the Missile Mirror on that cannon, I don't think he really has enough Winds of Magic to use the Thunderbolt in this big old blob. I don't know what this Jade Warrior Crossman's trying to shoot, but he's having a tough time shooting it. He's a little too close to the frontline fight to be helping out here, so maybe he's just counter-firing these other Crossmen. I don't know. I don't know. Matt is evening up the damage value on the Balance of Power, though. Has really come back. At one point he was down like 2,000, now he's down 600. So that's doing okay. This cannon's coming back. It has ammunition, so there's living models somewhere. Can they get back onto the thing? Is the immortal cannon crew... the immortal cannon crew bug is still here. These guys are all dead, but they're just immortal. They'll stand there forever. It's kind of funny. All right. Yin Lord for Matt is diving onto Koops' last remaining cannon. And they immediately get off of it, so it stops hurting their actual cannon models. Oh, here's the Thunderbolt we've been waiting for. Show me the damage. Stop lagging, you bastard. Slow motion damage. Oh, slow motion damage. Oh, that's like a quarter of that unit's health and maybe a fifth of that one's. Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts. Grand Cannon crew still fighting the Lord of Yin. That's going fine for her. Matthew is rallying some forces. We have, ooh, those are Jade Lancers. Half health Jade Lancers coming in the late game. Full health Peasant Long Spearman coming in the late game. Oh, oh. Full health Jade Warrior Crossman over here. Another half health Jade Lancers. Matthew has complete superiority in cavalry. Can he have some effective cycle charging? Maybe, possibly, potentially. I wish this wasn't lagging, because this has actually been a pretty good game outside of the lag. Like, it feels slow because it's lagging every so often, but it's actually been pretty good. Where are the Furkin in these tournaments? It makes me sad. Dude, we all miss the Skaven. We all miss Poisonman Globes. I really want to see Cathay try to box against the Avalanche Mortars. And just... Alright, big Talons of Night. It is going to do a little bit of friendly fire onto Matt's Jade Warriors, who try to run away at the last second, but they're not going to quite get out of here, but still a worthwhile trade. One Jade Warrior losing some health compared to two healthier Jade Warriors, both getting deleted. Brings Matthew back up to 800 damage value behind. Jade Warrior Crossmen are firing at these other Jade Warriors. And it's actually getting really close. I'm very concerned for Koops about these cavalry. I don't know what he's going to do about them. He has some awfully low Jade Warrior crossbows. He has an awfully low cannon. That could all be swept up by this one Jade Lancer. As a slow motion shot just destroys it. Oh god, that was like 3 models. What do we have? 1, 2, 3. Did I get it right? Or is that model dying too? Damn you, lag. Stop it. Oh, it was 4 models. I was wrong. 5. Ooh, 5 models, 1 shot. God damn. This lag can eat my balls. Jade Lancer's running up. So for Koops, we have some healthy-ish infantry dispersed around the map, but effective cav cycle charging could take them out because they're so spread out that obviously cavalry has the mobility advantage. Other than that, 1 wounded cannon that's running out of ammunition, 2 wounded crossmen, and that's about it. For the blue team, we have a bunch of wounded crossmen that are much more wounded than Koops's. We have 1 healthy spearman, half health Jade Warrior, a full health crossman, and his lord is significantly damaged. But I actually kind of... I don't love Matt's position in this game, but if I had to put money on who would win this game right now, I'd actually bet on the blue team. Even though they're behind, I just think their assets they have left are a little more critical. I don't know, though. It is close. So these Jade Lancers, they need to take out the cannon that actually has ammunition. I think that this attack order onto the firing rockets is a misclick? I don't know. Because you don't need to take that out at all. It's worthless. This cannon is your real problem. The cannon and the Jade Warriors need to stop. Is it me or is my furkin taking cavalry too seriously? Cavalry is important in a late game situation where your opponent doesn't have a lot of monstrous infantry. Yeah. There have been many. There's a game I lost in the last Warhammer 2 tournament where the Lost Sylvan Knights just cycle charged my entire army because my Rat Ogres died. I mean, yeah, it can be important. Jade Lancers are going to take out this Fire Rain rocket, but it's not what they should be doing with their time. Thankfully, they'll do it fast enough. It looks like the cannons attack orders are on a specific cavalry model that they couldn't see, so they didn't just shoot this group at point-blank range, and now they're getting attacked. The cannon, even though it has one living model left, it also loses all of its ammunition, meaning it can no longer mount that one dead model for reasons, because Cannon Bug is back. Baby, patch 1.3. Jade Lancer's cleaning up some shattered units, should really turn around and take care of these crossbowmen. And then without any crossbowmen, Koops might be in trouble. Go, Cav, go. Go, Cav, go. They need to retarget, though. They're currently just taking too much damage and getting shot. Though the full health Jade Warrior Crossman from Matt is just shooting these Jade Warriors from behind. Even if they have shields, they're facing the wrong way, so they're not going to get a whole lot done. As they try to whittle down the Cav advantage of their opponent, which is probably smart. As I said, I'm worried about cycle charging and that kind of stuff. Red Cathay is pulling further in the advantage, and I just don't agree that that is the case. I think it's just because of their Lord health, which now is taking a bunch of damage as this Jade Warrior beneath him has taken some pot shots up in the air. Matt's Lord is awfully low. Koops' Lord is still chasing him down, really trying to get that last couple hits in. The Astromancer on the ground is actually getting pummeled by Jade Warriors and Peasant Long Spearmen. He's having a bit of a rough time. One Jade Lancer is routed off by the crossbows, but both the crossbows are routed off by the other Jade Lancer. Koops' balance of power is entirely in his hero and his Lord's health bars, and they're both casters who aren't that good at melee combat, so it's a little inflated. I lagged behind 3 minutes myself. Fast forward into present, basically nothing changed. There's a lot of lag, sir. This game, I will defend this game to the death. This game has been actually a banger if you take all the lag out. Not game 3, this specific game. All right, Matt's cleaned up the backline pretty effectively. Balance of power so favors Koops, but I just don't believe it. Just don't believe it. He did some sparkly stuff. Did he fire off a Thunderbolt I just didn't see, or no? Looks like no. Matt's Shugi Lord thinks about landing, decides not to. Astromancer's dying, a horrible, horrible death. Balance of power still favors Koops. I don't. I think Matt's got it. I think Matt's got it. Rear charge from Jade Lancers and from Matt's Lord might just rout the Astromancer if Koops is already struggling on leadership. And does Koops have any spells left? Not really. I mean, if you get a nasty Thunderbolt onto that clumped up Jade Warrior, he'd maybe be okay, but even then, I don't know. Yeah, Matt's got it. Balance power's full of shit. I feel like Koops lost this one. Yeah, I think so too. The Cav superiority in the end, where Matt just had Cav alive in the late game, is really taking its toll. Ugh, lag, fuck you. Go away. The balance of power in game 3 is so heavily into, like, casters, it's insane. I feel like it's worse than Warhammer 2. Though Warhammer 2 also had issues with this. Like, look at the state of the battle right now. And the balance of power still think Red's got this. Like, seriously? You think a Shugi caster that has used both of her summons, and then your spells left are Cloak of Jet and Missile Mirror is going to carry this entire game? Okay. I can't handle the words. Cav superiority. Meh. Alright, Cloak of Jet, cast onto the Incaster, just, I guess, for fun, because nothing else you can do at the moment. Some crossbow pokes. Now, maybe if Koops can snipe out Matt's caster, he would lower the leadership on the battlefield enough they could get, like, a mass rout or something, but it's not looking that likely. Ooh, Matt with a dangerous land allows Koops to land behind him. He does get a rear charge attack very briefly, and he gets to attack another time, but he's not swinging. Koops' Lord is not swinging! Oh, huge opportunity missed from Koops' Lord. Misses the charge attack, too. That is unfortunate. I know I end up screaming at my characters for that. Fucking ground the punch versus that Vampire Lord. Fucking not swinging piece of shit. Regardless. Game still thinks Koops has got this. We might have a route on our hands as the Shugi Lord just stops to fight these Jade Warriors and free up the Astromancer. If you can get him free, he could start getting more Winds of Magic back from his Cloak of Pomei. And maybe even get off a cast of a Thunderbolt. That could kill these Jade Warriors and give Coop some sort of advantage. But, ooh, that's a full health unit of Peasant Long Spearmen. That's going to be hard to deal with. We get a break from the Peasant Long Spears. Do we get a break from the Jade Warriors? They're at 3 leadership! Get some Longmun, hunt down the enemy. Sugar Lady. Alright. I mean... this is looking rough. These Jade Warrior Crossmen should just shoot this Jade Warrior for sure. For sure. I'm not seeing it. Astromancer breaks. Balance of power is finally back to middle. Middle! It thinks this Jade Warrior and this lady can kill everything. Middle balance of power. As the Jade Warrior breaks, it's just this lady, and the balance of power now says maybe Matthew can win. It's just over the middle. It's like, all right, maybe, possibly, the guy with an army left can win this game. All right, cool. That was actually a good game. Koops won the artillery duel against all odds, but Matthew microed his calves slightly better. He also had an extra peasant horseman, to be fair. And then in the late game, it just mattered so much more. 1,000 value on the Jade Lancers, 1,500 on the other Jade Lancer. Peasant horsemen did okay. Jade Warrior Crossmen did fine. Cannons largely got wrecked. His Lord got 2,400 value. His Jade Warriors did fine. His Peasant Long Spearmen did fine overall. For Koops, his Lord also did quite well at 1,700. His Astromancer did fine with 600. Fire and Rockets got shut down, but one of his cannons got incredible value. The other one did okay. Jade Lancers got about a third of the value of his opponents. His Crossmen did fine. His Jade Warriors did fine. Peasant Long Spearmen did fine. But yeah, that was the Cav show. I'll take that over the Blob show any day of the week. Matthew up 1-0. That was nice. Right. What about Campaign Cav? Multiplayer side, are they getting good for real? Campaign Cav? No, they're still pretty bad. They're still pretty bad. I mean, if you use them well, they can be fine, but usually you don't need to. The AI don't exactly have a lot of things that Cav can punish super hard. Yeah. Until they fix, like, the infantry getting knocked down stuff, Cav's not great. But again, as I always say with Campaign, you can make anything work in Campaign. You can throw buffs at it through technology and through Lord stuff, that it'll be fine. But if you want it to be purely effective, no. Probably not. Getting army abilities in rank 3 being Imrik would be hilarious, not gonna lie. I bring Cav in Campaign if they suck because they're fun to use. Medieval 2 Cav was broken. Rome 2, Shogun 2, Medieval 2, all had very good Cav. Hope you get some good ones in Warhammer 3. In Shogun 2, the Katana cavalry that the Takeda could bring with their buffs, because the Takeda had really good Cav, those guys were fun. They were insane too. Alright, Cathay is off the books. Now again, if Matthew wants to go in for the kill, probably a good pick and ban. If he's being super metagame, would be Kislev, ban Kislev. And then you have an Ogres matchup that I think is slightly Kislev favored, but actually there's a build or two I decently enjoy against Kislev. But it's tough, because if they guess what build you're bringing, Kislev can destroy you pretty easily. And then Kislev can beat any of the 4 demons. Yeah, any of the 4 demons pretty well. I used to think Tzeentch versus Kislev was even, but recently I've been losing it a lot of Tzeentch, so... meh. Takeda Firecap were amazing. Yeah, Takeda was great. Oda Long Yashigaru would like to know your location. Dude, my best campaign by far was with the Oda, I think. Because the Oda are the ones with the yellow and black flower pennant, right? And their whole thing is that they like recruit peasants really well. Because your early game is so strong that you can snowball out of control before other factions even get their special units. I don't know. I did fuck up though once playing the Oda because I didn't understand the game perfectly. So when there was weird. Matthew left the game, sure something was up, but we'll see in a second. I knew that realm divide happened when you got big enough. But I didn't understand that realm divide would always happen if you attacked the Ashigaru Shogunate thing, the Ashikoga Shogunate. The Shogunate. If you attack the Shogunate early, realm divide happens immediately. Because I was like, oh, I'm the Oda. I took these like 5 provinces really fast. I'm in the middle of the island. I'm right next to the Shogunate. And they're weak right now because we're in the early game. Oh, I could just kill them. And I declared war on them. And all of a sudden, like, everyone in Japan was like, hey, fuck you. But one thing about Shogun 2 that legitimately did irritate me was I never like the Ashikaga. Thank you. I never like anti-player bias in games. I just don't. I understand that when you don't know how to make AI perfect, like no one does, you need to give the AI stat buffs. And then, like, yeah, they perform stupid things, but they just have stat buffs, so it's, like, largely okay. I understand that. But it pisses me off so much when I see stuff. And the Shogun 2 example I specifically have is when it's like, oh... Sorry. Matthew made a new lobby because he had to reduce some settings to see if he could stop it from lagging on us, which is fine. But, you know, oh, I see you there, Shimazu, with 35 territories. Oh, Shimazu, you are too dangerous to be left alive. Everyone in the realm, rally against the dangerous, large Shimazu. And then the Date will show up with like 65 provinces and like crack their knuckles and be like, yeah, boss, that Shimazu's real scary. And then like the Takeda also roll their neck and they have 50 and they're like, yeah, they're too big to survive. They're a threat to all of us. And I'm like, the fuck? What? When these assholes hit 35, you didn't call me and everybody else in Japan declare war on them. Nah, they're AI. They can be that big. You can't. You're the player. And, like, that shit bothers me so much is when one of the AI way passes the realm divide, and then they still pretend that there's some small munchkin. Like, it's like this big jacked guy in this tiny coat with, like, the buttons straining because they can barely hold in his mass, and he's like, I'm a second grader. And you're like, no, you're not. You're a full adult man, and this is some bullshit. The guys up north with the Nodachi Samurai were blasting campaign. Are you talking about the Uesugi? The Ninja Clan was fun. I never played as them, but they were fun. The Date Clan was good, but starting location made it very, very weak. Yeah. Oh, I see. I tried the Uesugi campaign multiple times. I never could do it. I always got fucked on. But again, I don't play campaigns super efficiently. I kind of just do what I want to, that I think is cool, and then I'll probably not be super effective. Like when I was the monks, I would go pretty hard on religion just because I wanted to role play as a monk, but that was not the way to do it, and you just get destroyed. So you were the monk type units? Oh yeah. Until the Iko-Iki came in. Nobody liked the Iko-Iki. Like, Japan was having a conversation about, listen, Christianity or the old ways, and the Iko-Iki come in and they're like, what about a third way? And everyone kind of looks at him for a second, slaps the shit out of him, and then goes back to talking about, so do we accept Christianity and guns, or do we stay with the old ways? And fuck the Eco-Wiki. Shogun 2 is good. A shameful display, though. I played The Rise of the Samurai once with my friend, and it was pretty fun, honestly. And then I played The Fall of the Samurai like 4 or 5 times, once with my friend and 3 or 4 times alone. And I don't remember why I played so much Fall but so little Rise of the Samurai. And I always meant to go back to it and like try that again. But I don't know. We played as the blue guys, the ones in the middle. Because like red was all the way on the south, blue was in the middle, and then green were in the north. Shogun 2 quick battles were a blast. I literally never played a single one. Were they good? Iko-Iki and Otomo are the strongest clans, by the way. Yeah, the Iko-Iki might be the strongest clan compared to one guy. The problem was is every campaign I played, I never played as them. I only played as them being the AI. And where they're the AI, they might be like, on a scale of 1 to 10, they might be an 8. But every 6 around them just walked up and kicked them in the dick as soon as the game started. Like, every single game, the Iko-Iki was the first clan defeated for me. It was hilarious. Every time they would walk in the room, they'd be like, do you guys want to hear about our Lord and Savior? Blank. And everyone's like, no. Fucking full of arrows. He's on the ground bleeding out. He's like, I just wanted to share. And then they curb stomp him, and that's the end of the Iko-Iki every time. Rise of the Samurai isn't as good as your opinion. It's good, but nowhere near as good as the normal or Fall of the Samurai. Fall was fun. Guns were done pretty well in that one, where they just had good sound effects. Shogun 2 multiplayer was weird because you had to fight Fall of the Samurai armies with normal Shogun 2 armies. Oh, that is a little weird. I remember naval battles being strange. Like, I didn't play them very well, so I'm sure somebody who was good at them could explain to me what I did wrong. But there were so many times where in Shogun 2... Fall of the Samurai, I don't remember it as much, but I know Shogun 2 normal, I would have, like, the best ship I could have, and it's like, this ship has 7,000 men, 500 crossbowmen, 2 ballistas, 8 sails, and it's the size of the entire island of Japan. And the AI would be like, I have a rowboat with 1 guy with a bow and arrow. And then I would get to the battle, and the auto-resolve would be like, you're completely fucked, kid. And I'm like, what do you mean? I should kill them before they even get in range. And then I fight the battle, and I tell my ship to attack, and it just kind of like drives in a circle for a little bit. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, sir. I don't really know what boats do. I'm so scared, sir. And I'm like, dude, just shoot the little tiny fucking boat. And then they wouldn't shoot the tiny fucking boat. And they'd sit there, and then when they finally try to shoot the boat, they would like turn the wrong way, or their pathing would get fucked up, or they'd miss every shot, and the tiny boat would just be like plink, 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 and an hour and a half later, plink, plink, your giant ship sunk. I don't know why. It was just, I didn't understand naval battles at all, so I just auto-resolved them all. After I figured out that I just couldn't understand naval battles, I auto-resolved all of them. It was just, I'm going to lose my navy even though it's bigger and more powerful. Fine, I'm still not going to find it. I'm not going to fight it because it's only going to go worse for me. Yeah, everybody hates them, but if you have the tools and not the AI, boy, you're in for a treat. I could try it. I could. You didn't have to, Coops. It was dependent on the lobby unless you meant quick battle. Follow the samurai guns and artillery are very good and very well done. Naval battles are always awful, in my opinion. I don't know why people want them back. Follow the samurai naval battles were good, though? Maybe. I want good naval battles. I don't think naval battles were done well in previous Total War games, but I didn't play that much of the Fall of the Samurai naval battles, to be fair. But I just want good naval battles. I know they can be done well, because I've played some good naval games. Battle Stations Midway and Pacific were both really good naval games. That's a little different because the whole game was about naval combat. I think there's a game series called Leviathan Warships that made naval battles pretty simple. Could be implemented as like a side thing, but don't know. It's just naval battles were made more egregious by the AI buffs that they would get. Because at least in a land battle, if the AI got some stupid buffs, you could like, all right, I'll pop on some music, I'll fight this dumbass battle because for some reason the game thinks I'm going to lose a whole bunch of katana samurai to this dumbass army. And then you load in, instant murder everybody, you didn't lose a single unit. You're like, yeah, fuck you, auto-resolve. But with the naval, you just kind of have to accept it. Whatever the game tells you you're going to lose, you're just like, I guess I just lose. Sir, this is a World War II era battleship versus a rowboat. Auto-resolve says we lose it, so we lose it. I'm not fighting the auto-resolve. I did play with all the Samurai Naval Battles. Freaking trust me, you should try them. Okay. If I ever play Shogun 2 again, I probably will. Though every time I go back to Shogun 2, I burn out after like 10 turns because I played too much of it in the past. What is going on here? So, Matthew goes, Tzeentch bans Kislev. Coops thinks about it for a second, goes ogres, and that was about 3 minutes ago. So their army should be wrapping up soonish. It's not like you have a giant roster to choose from. Both armies are sitting at about 0 gold spent, so unless they delete units, they're both done. I meant it's better than encountering someone at sea and just telling them to pull up and fighting them at land. No. Yeah, that was kind of funny in Total War. We're like, in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, south of Ulthuan, if you run into Count Noctilus, you're like, I challenge you to a duel. And he's like, yes, I agree. Let us find an island. And then you guys sail hand in hand over to an island, land, tie up your boats, get your armies together, unpack all your shit, stretch out a little bit, maybe have a nice meal, drink some water. All right, you go over there, we'll go over here, then we're gonna fight this fucking battle. It was so funny. Still never played Shogun 2, though I have it on Steam. Zep, it's good. I would recommend you play it. Though I will say, like I mentioned at the start, I'm burnt out on it because I played it too much. But another thing that honestly doesn't hold up is Total War 2 and 3. For all our problems with them, they're not perfect games. The units handle really well compared to Shogun. Shogun is a bit more like historical strategy, where it's a little less like insane micro can carry the game for you because like units just don't respond that way. It's more of broad strokes orders. I don't know. I'm sad no one is acknowledging your good luck have fun acronyms. Where is this, Coops? Gluttonous lads heartily feast. Okay, that's a good acronym. Good lads hedonistically fire. Okay, that's a good acronym, Coops. I'm sorry I missed those. If we're talking Rome 2 naval battles, I just spam ram the enemy ships, don't even try to fight the naval battles. Play Total War, Rome 2 Total War, naval battles, mauling some Romans is fun. I see. Hi, Grace. Hi. Do you want to say hi to stream or should I just shut the door? Okay. Hi, Hazel Basil. I said, do you want to say hi to stream or should I shut the door? Shut the door. Okay. Grace hates you people. Hazel came in, wandered around, and left. As is her birthright. Wait, there's a Discord to let you in? Yeah. Cyrus, you're usually pretty good at posting the link. Can you do that? Yard work done, you're back. Venge, you're back for potentially the last game, or if Coops wins, the last 2 games. http discord.gg. That seems like a generic link. Oh, I also think it's in the comments. Yeah. Alright. What do we have? What's going on? For Coops, for Tzeentch, for Coops, for Tzeentch, for Coops, we have Crushers with Iron Fists, Mornfang Cavalry with Iron Fists. Is that the same one? This is why I usually wait a little bit before talking about the stuff, because I get confused. Okay, 1 Crusher with Iron Fist, 2 Mornfang Cav with Iron Fists, 2 Sabertusk packs, a Slaughtermaster of Beasts with only a Manticore summon. We have quadruple Iron Guts plus 1 Ogre Bull with Iron Fists and 5 Noblars as well. More Iron Guts. I still don't believe in them, but there. It's weird being led by a weird furry boxer. What, Mike Tyson? How did you know about Mike Tyson's greatest secret? On the other side, we have 4 Forsaken, 4 Chaos Spawn, a Herald of Tzeentch with, ooh, is that the Treason? Treason of Tzeentch, minus 16 leadership in an area. Yeah, that's pretty effective against ogres. Blue Fire, otherwise, we have 1 Screamer, 2 Chaos Furies, and triple Blue Horrors. I'm very curious about this Coop's heavy cavalry build. I think it can work. I don't... Spawners so hard to deal with for the ogres. Because they're just, like, sticky. You do a lot of upfront damage, and then you just don't finish them off, which sucks. But, I don't know, this is a lot of cav from Coops, and not a lot that could stop it on the side of Tzeentch. There might be something to this here. Can you pin the Discord link? It's also... There. I pinned it, but it's also in the stream description. And it looks like it's working. I don't know. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. If people can't find the Discord link, then they're blind. Where do we chat in this chaotic hell pit of a Discord? I'm lost. General, I suppose. Or bother human boy. Yeah. Those are fine. I don't know. Anywhere. It's pretty chill. And we're off! The ogres leading a brutal charge to the front, and Iron Guts getting a little bit ahead of their support. They'll probably want to fall back before they sprint face first into some blue horrors of Tzeentch. Though I suppose, I don't know, man. Ogres, it's been documented many times, they have issues charging through their own friends, so maybe being ahead of your Noblars is a good call? I don't know. Blue Fire of Tzeentch getting cast onto the Mournfang Cav, who are going to turn around and try and dodge it. It does like a little damage, not a ton. Don't know what Coops is retreating from, though. It's just some Chaos Fairies. Who gives a shit? Go kick their ass. This engagement's happening a little soon. The Cav isn't quite in position to flank yet. The Iron Guts are just sprinting in of their own accord. And it looks like now they're running away after getting a quick charge off. The charge did literally no damage. Not even shield damage until the second Iron Guts came in, so I don't know what that's about. And we're already locked up. Ogres out in front without their Noblar support is making me a little nervous. And then these ogres piling up on the same spot instead of going around. It's tough. But Sabertusts and the Cav are coming now. Screamer's trying to fight on the side. Where are those Crushers? Oh, those are the Crushers. Okay, so the Crushers are already getting on the blues. Mournfang Cav with Iron Fists are split up all by themselves with no Tzeentch interaction at all. Very interesting. First Manticore summon comes out. Don't know where it's going to go. We'll be interested to see. Iron Guts are getting fucking brutalized, dude. I just don't believe in this unit. I don't know. Their stats look so good until you use them, and then they're bad. So Crushers are trying to stop the Blue Horrors, but the Blue Horrors have already used most of their ammunition, unfortunately, for the Ogres. Sabertusk packs are losing to Furies straight up because, I don't know, reasons. And the Manticore does actually fight the Herald of Tzeentch in the sky. Ogres are down about 1,000 damage value, though they are catching up a little bit now that the Cavalry has gotten involved. Screamer's still attacking these Mournfang Cav with Iron Fists on the back, doing a lot of damage to them, and they're just straight up losing this fight with out-of-ammo Blue Horrors and Screamers. That's not going very well at all. Crush's Iron Fist charge back into the Blue Horrors, really trying to finish them off, but the charge is completely limp as some of the Crushers stand behind and only let one of the models actually do any attacking. Manticore is still chasing around the Herald of Tzeentch, just taking about half health, which is pretty good, before he staggers away from some Screamers. These Mournfang Cav with Iron Fists have rallied a little bit. They are now finishing off the Blue Horrors, and if they turn their attention onto the Screamers of Tzeentch, they will kill them. Now, Sabertusk packs losing to Furies is pretty disappointing for me. That makes me the big sad, and is a big advantage for Tzeentch. Tzeentch's frontline has destroyed the Ogre's frontline as per usual, and now it is largely up to the Crushers and Mournfang Cav to cycle charge their way through this entire game, which seems a little difficult to do. I think that was a Treason of Tzeentch. Yeah, Treason of Tzeentch getting attacked. Ooh, minus 24 melee attack on the Iron Guts, plus the minus to their leadership. They're just going to get out of here. And we have a full health, full shield spawn unit still, and then 3 other spawn that are all about half HP. I just don't see how the Ogres are going to punch through all that at all. Coops RPing and Ogres, they don't wait around for the Cavalry to begin feasting. Yeah, maybe they should have. Maybe they should have. Crushers with Iron Fist stuck in a melee fight with the Screamers and Blue Horrors and all this stuff. And as Chaos Spawn are limping back to deplete their armor a little bit, they decide they probably shouldn't be here and start to leave. Iron Guts are back for a second pass at things with Noblar support. Meanwhile, some Mournfangs with Iron Fists are trying to rally before Furies will hit them in the back, but probably gonna rout soon here. More Mournfang are routing, more Mournfang are routing, and it's really just the Crushers and the Beastcaster left. Can he get off a second Manticore summon, and does that even matter? The one build I've had luck with is Ogres vs. Tzeentch recently was Iron Guts, Crusher, ROR, and 2 Stonehorns. Yeah, Stonehorns can be okay. They're just so expensive. After all the nerfs and stuff to their missile resist and whatever, it feels really bad, but... yeah. Quick Blue Fire of Tzeentch cast. Most of the Ogres have routed. Balance of Power is extremely against them, and yeah. It's a bad time to be a Mournfang Cav. Crushers get one last rear charge onto the Chaos Spawn, but does it matter? They have no leadership for you to prey on with this type of charge. None. Nothing. Yeah. It's probably over. Oof. Big Treason of Tzeentch Castle probably get rid of these Noblars and Augurbals with Iron Fists, leaving just the Crushers who are currently getting rear charged by Screamers, lowering their leadership even further, and army losses will hit as the biggest leadership debuff of all. But a quick Manticore summon holds off the army losses. Clutch play there by Coops. Like, it's not going to win him the game, but that actually did just stop army losses from happening, so it's not all bad. Ogres kind of suck. Recently, yeah, like, their kiting style is by far their strongest again, and that doesn't work against some factions. There we go. Army losses will hit. Crushers did more work than I would have given them credit for, but Mournfang suffered the same fate they always do for me, unfortunately. They look really good on paper, but they're so expensive, and, like, they take a shit ton of damage from basic things. Even it just feels like their stats don't matter. They have a ton of armor, and still, like, they'll just die. I don't know. Caster got 11 value, but he summoned 2 Manticores, so it's not really about him. 800 on the Crushers, 600 on the Mournfang Cav, 800 on the other Mournfang Cav. Iron Guts, 400, 400, 230, 400. Sabertusk didn't pay for themselves. Noblars also. The fact that Sabertusk lose to Fury straight up is kind of bullshit. I don't know. It's kind of fucked. Because this unit pays 50 gold in that case to fly. Like, it's 50 gold more expensive than them. But in that 50 gold, it can win the melee fight that decisively if you look at its health bar. Now, that's only for models killed, so it took a little more damage than that, but whatever, you get my point. For 50 gold, it can win the fight against the Sabertusk. It can fly. I mean, that's a good 50 gold well spent there, sir. Anyway, I wouldn't even expect, like, a ground unit. If you had 2 ground units, one was worth 500 and one was worth 550, I wouldn't expect the 550 to have that much health left after winning that fight. And this one also does that with flying. I think Sabertusks are just kind of bad. And I don't think Ogre players are wrong for taking them. You need this type of unit. You need a Hound unit. But I just think Sabertusks are bad at being a Hound unit, which sucks. Forsaken got great value. Spawn, debuffed armor. They did a lot of stuff. Herald of Tzeentch didn't have to do too much. Screamers were really well played. They did a lot of rear charging. They never got stuck. So that was pretty good. And Matthew B969 will be our winner for today. Tzeentch wins the front line against Khorne and Ogres. Yeah. I acknowledge I misplayed that, but I hate barrier. Agreed. Tzeentch do be surprising. Ogres are really bad against Chaos Spawn. So let me check out something. 1 sec. I'll message him. Bim, bam, boom. So, you want 50 or to be invited to Grey Seer Tourney in 2 weekends from now for a chance at 100. We will see if Matthew is going to take the 50 or if he will try to double his winnings and fight Zigracias. Anyway, I just want to see how that front line went because it feels like the Iron Guts just don't do anything. What happened with this charge? Because they, like, literally this Forsaken ends up with, like, full shields if I remember correctly. Okay, so Coops calls off the charge, but then these Ogres just stand around with their dick in their hand. And then these other Ogres charge in and barely do any shield damage for the first bit. It's so weird. And then not looking at the Crushers, just looking at the front line. So Matthew was overcasting Treason of Tzeentch, lowering their melee attack to 12. And then the Blue Fire Overwatch fire, yeah. That's brutal. These iron guts in the first like 10 seconds of melee combat are already dead. That's just brutal. And then dogs are fighting furies and get absolutely bodied. And they even have rampage, which is a negative effect. So it's like, why are saber tusks so bad? I don't know. I don't think Chaos Furies of Tzeentch are too good. I legitimately think saber tusks need some buffs. They're pretty terrible. They have 38 melee attack, which you think would be good, but I frequently have issues of them just chasing armored Kossars in the Kislev matchup around and not killing them. They just like knock them over a bunch. So I don't know. It's just, it's one of those things where looking at the stats, they don't look that bad, but performance-wise, I have never seen saber tusks like really stand out and impress me. They have some good games, but not any that like they really impress. Same with Mournfang Cav with Iron Fist. 100 armor, 36 melee attack, 38 melee defense. You'd think they'd be good, and then they're just like not. Yeah. Furies win this because they get the charge, and saber tusks don't. Still though, like I just don't think like a bat unit should beat a ground unit of similar cost in a straight up fight. Like I think, and this is just my opinion on it, right? My opinion is if you're paying for flying and then 2 units cost roughly the same, the unit that doesn't pay for flying should have the stats to win that fight because they're, you know, you're paying for that other thing. I don't know. Don't be jealous about the Tzeentch front line. If they were to get the charge, they would win. Maybe, but that's part of the advantage of being a flying unit. That's kind of like, it's not the exact same, and I'm not trying to discredit your argument. I'm just having trouble thinking of an example, but that's kind of like saying like, if this unit didn't use its range attack and just went into melee, the other unit would win. It's like, yeah, but it pays for the range attack, so it's going to use it in a theoretical fight. So flying gives you the advantage of getting a charge on the other thing. But they win, yeah. My whole point is that they win it by too much, because look at how fucking healthy this Chaos Fury is for deleting a unit of roughly its cost. Like, it seems like a lot to me. For 110 speed, all that stuff, I don't know. I think saber tusks kind of blow, is my main point. Chaos Knights pay 50 gold for barrier for some reason. The benefit of flying is getting the charge bonus so your opponent doesn't, though. Yeah, you're right. If Chaos factions wanted some balance, Slaanesh should have gotten the magical shield. Tzeentch should still shoot an edge. Yeah. I think I'm not presenting my opinion very well, and we're getting distracted. Because, like, I should be talking more about that I think saber tusks are bad, not that furies are overpowered. I think that's where I'm getting a little lost in the sauce. Because, like, in the Kislev matchup, there's literally videos of me just, like, watching armored Kossars run away from my saber tusks for a million years. And I just think the unit's bad. And I don't think Tzeentch furies are overpowered by any means. I think the saber tusks are just underpowered. Booskin's Trappers to Warhammer Furies better. Yeah. Which day on that weekend? I need to check with the missus if I can. It is offline. Matt, you're here. I'm typing to you, but you can also just listen to me. The Grey Seer tournament's in 2 weekends, but it's offline. And you guys are going to play your games from when I leave for Seattle, Thursday night. I'll say, hey, Grey Seers who are signed up for this, here are your maps. Play your games. The tournament has to be done by the time I get home Monday. So you guys can play anytime within there, but really try not to just leave it until, you know, oh, I have till Sunday, and then everybody tries to play their game Sunday. Somebody can't. There's going to be like, well, I'm trying to play with, you know, John FB, but he can't tonight, and I only asked him about this Sunday, and he said I can't play literally today, so now we just can't play. And it's like, yeah, I'm probably just going to give whoever tried to organize the games a win on that one, Chief. So it's offline that weekend, 2 weekends from now. And then I'll cast the games Monday because I'm going to be in Seattle hiking, and there's not a lot of time left before Immortal Empires. And this weekend I'm in Indianapolis trying to sell board games. Next weekend I'm hiking in Seattle. The weekend after that I'm going to be doing some Immortal Empires stuff, and then the weekend after that Immortal Empires is out. So that's what I got. It is offline. You can play games whenever on that weekend. Buff saber tusks to leap up and charge flying units like good little kitties. I mean, cats can leap like a son of a bitch, so I can't saber tusks. I feel like playing a game or two, so if anybody in chat wants to play, just message me or something. I'll end the stream in a bit, but I feel like playing a couple games. I think that'd be fun. Just throwing that out there. I think the saber tusks don't get enough of a discount for Rampage, as big as issue. Yeah. So I'm messaging Matthew about what he wants to do about prizes and talking to you about it at the same time, but if anybody wants to fight me before we end the stream, that's fine. I want to play! I want to play video games! I'll go to just game, so I don't have the blocker or the scorecards or anything, but if you're gonna stream snipe me on some fun games at the end of a stream, then you deserve to be slapped. Free for all. All right, there's a lobby with 4 slots, free for all. Passwords 1, 2, 3 if you feel like playing. Sure. Coop's asking FFA right as I made the thing. Let's do Troll Country. It's a small map. Won't be too much fucking around. Default tons, ultra scale. I mean, this seems fine. This seems fine. Don't suppose you saved the replays from the jellyfish game, Human Boy? I did not. I mean, I streamed them so you could watch on the stream, but I didn't save them, no. Honestly, as I was talking to you, Matthew, about that, like, I suppose there's no reason I shouldn't just start the Gracier tournament whenever. Like, you know what I mean? If it's all going to be offline anyway, why do I have an arbitrary date of 2 Thursdays from now, I will let you start playing your games? Like, I could just, as soon as the stream's over, ping the Graciers, be like, whoever's signing up, sign the fuck up by, like, 24 hours from this post, and then play your games over the next 2 weeks, and I'll cast them all, and it'll be fine. Like, we could do that. I guess I don't see a reason not to. Because the original thing, you weren't a part of that poll, because at the time I didn't know you were going to win the Chieftain tournament, so I only asked the Graciers what they wanted to do. But I know Llama wanted to play, and his schedule was kind of complicated. So we had to wait till that weekend. Oh, that's why we're waiting till that weekend, though. Because Llama's on vacation for like 2 weeks. So whoever got Llama couldn't play a game with him until that weekend anyway. Yeah, we'll leave it alone. All right, we have no other free-for-allers. That is the big sag. I'll message Coops. Coops! If we have no free-for-allers, if you just want a 1v1, I'm also fine with that. Where's Coops? I feel like I've messaged you earlier than this, but I'm scrolling through my messages and not finding anything. Coops, are we not friends? Wow, Coop's not my friend, confirmed. Wow. Coops, I haven't messaged you in like 35 years. There, I just had to do a search. 1v1 if no one shows. Boop. So I just had to double check it's from the 11th, 14th, Thursday through Sunday. Yeah, that is the correct dates, sir. Seems fine, but we'll make sure. Okie doke. Alright. I'll leave it 10 seconds, and if we don't get anybody else, I will just 1v1 Coops for the glory of Sigmar. 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, coops. Alright, let's switch it. 1v1. Boop. Why is Coops a spectator? Alright, I had to pull him out of a spectator slot. That's weird. Oh, wait, he's not a spectator. He's just on my team. Okay. Coops is playing Nergy? Nergy Fergie? If he is, I'm trying to think of an even matchup into Nurgle. I remember Slaanesh being bad, but I'm trying to remember why. Because I have a couple ideas of things that could be good, but I don't know. I also have literally never played ogres into Nurgle, so that could be kind of interesting. I'll just Slaanesh or ogres if he's playing Nergs. Yeah, okay. Slan or ogres. What you want. Boop. Or boop. Or boop. Or boop. Whatever you feel like. Alright. Alright! We're going Slaanesh. Let's go. This isn't gonna work, but let's go. Nikari could be fun. How expensive are you with like a normal kit? Leadership is wavering. You get a Mortis engine. Healing if a unit is destroyed, which could be good against Nurgle. Oh lord, I kind of want to keep like all of these things, and that is going to be expensive as fuck. I'll cut slicing shards. I'll just keep acquiescence. Yeah. If I spam it, I'll get a bunch of stuff for my army. I haven't gotten to play with... I maybe have played with Nikari once in this entire game, so that'll be kind of fun. Frontline, eh? Bringers of Beguilement are pretty good. Eternal Entourage are pretty good. Spawn, do I need them? Eh. Hellstriders are fine. Hellstriders with the whips are fine. I really don't have any frontline at this point, so I guess we'll get some Marauders. Oh boy, this is a small army. Oh boy. If I do that, I could upgrade 200 gold worth of people. It's one of those. So I can get another Hellscourge and a Spear and then be fine. So I can cycle charge with Cav. Nikari can duel any single entities. I'm extremely weak to, like, Death's Head cheese, I guess. Which is actually kind of meta versus Slaanesh if we were both tryharding super seriously. That's probably why Nikari isn't taken usually, but whatever. We'll try it. Because all I could take to fight Death's Heads would be Furies, and Death's Heads can just melee fight the Furies, win, and then go back to shooting your Lord. So, I think that's why this matchup's bad. Traditionally, I was thinking about it like, if Nurgle just hard boxes with Kugoth or an Exalted Grin and Clean One, then you get Mortis Engine down. Maybe that's why this was so bad, but now I'm thinking it was probably the air cheese, because Slaanesh, for some reason, in a game that most of the rosters have really good air cheese, Slaanesh was given just Furies and no ranged units, and then it's like, wait, the common builds against them are like Sky Junks for Cathay, Nurgle's Death Heads, Zinch, Aerial Lords with a couple Screamers and Furies, and maybe that Flaming Chariot thing. Like, wait, Slaanesh just getting air cheesed? How could we have seen this coming? Also, we're playing on a trash map because I'm a trash man. Theme of this build is every Nurgle unit Human Boy hates. If you brought frogs, you are fucked. You are not gonna win with frogs, my friend. My cavalry will sweep over you like the tide. Alright. Just a big, dumb line of Slaanesh units, and I'll walk at you. Boop. Soul Grinders and Frogs. Yeah, actually, probably is Soul Grinders, too. Alright, which two are you? Which two are you? All of the infantry. Done. Run, stun, job, done. Ready, ready. Good luck, have fun. Silly coops. Being silly.
What do you want?
I like Slaanesh. I think with Immortal Empires, Slaanesh is going to actually be really strong. I've heard the Domination folks say Slaanesh is strong in that meta right now, so that's cool, but in Immortal Empires, dude, they're going to be such a good counter pick versus like Beastmen and Skaven. Oh, those are not going to have a good time at all with Slaanesh. Which I'm kind of excited for. Slaanesh is fun. I don't know. Like, I won't like the matchup for Skaven, but I can try to avoid it. I think Slaanesh will be fine. We have one Death's Head, a Herald of Nurgle, and just frogs. Just all frogs. I heard you like frogs. We'll hear some frogs. Okay, we'll fall back. Let our infantry advance. Oh, you think your frogs can catch me, old man? Nakari, go! Dodge. Nakari, go over there, go! You go walk at them. You go around. You guys don't get those frogs. Leave those frogs alone. Ah, I'm coming! You stupid sons of bitches! I'm coming! Roar! Roar! These are the noises Slaanesh makes. Alright, Spearmen and Hell Scourges, you guys get a downhill charge on the frogs while they're still in the woods. Go, 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 go. Fight them while they're still in the woods. You guys, my anti-large friends, go fight them. The super great armor-piercing ones, get all the way up there and fight that. You guys, come over here. We want to fight them in the woods. That's a good call. Alright. We are withstanding the Death's Head fire. I specifically took this fight because I knew I could win it, and I'm trying to crumble down all of his units around Nakari so Nakari can heal through this travesty of Death Head stuff. So I'm just trying to survive the storm while healing up. He's almost out of ammo, but it feels pretty brutal. Alright, let's cast a debuff here just to give our army some more buffs. And these armor-piercing boys are having a really tough time getting past the toads. Okay, toads are still dying. Toads are still dying. You dare land next to Nakari, you fool! Cav, lock him up. Alright, lots of units have died. Infantry, fuck off. And the Death's Head, they're almost out of ammo. I have withstood their charge. We flee, fuck you. Alright, Heartseekers are doing great. Infantry, leave the Heartseekers to it. Help with the grind. Nakari is bodying this old man. Along with my cavalry. You guys actually stay here and rampage him. Death's Heads are coming down to fight, baby! Let's go! I think you're so fucking cool. Well, I'm going to nerf the shit out of you! Okay. You guys are doing that. You guys are doing that. You guys can charge in over here. You, I saw you had a spell up. Debuff the Death's Heads, because the Lord is already crumbling. Give our whole army some buffs, and Slaanesh is about to win, baby! Koops is very serious, very meta build. Alright, we win. GG. No FFA. Cyrus, no one joined the lobby! No one joined the lobby! Slaanesh was rated stupid high on City Duck and Turns ranking vid. Yeah, but that was entirely domination mode, which I know nothing about. That went how I expected, yeah. Frogs are not pogs. Frogs are sads. Okay. Needed more toads? I don't think it needed more toads. I think it needed less toads. It needed less toads. Nakari did fine. Death's Head's got 2,700 value from just pinging Nakari. Adding warriors should help them a lot. Yeah. It should. Cooper 10. Can you bring... Sorry, I'm going to change the map from something that doesn't suck. Can you bring just... Can you bring the Kislev Bear Blob? Not the whole build, just Boris, a Patriarch, an Ice Witch, and then like the Oath Brothers of Tor. I just want to test a couple things quickly, if that's okay. I want to see how much damage Rancid Visitations does to some of the targets there. If it's like worth it. I don't know. What do you guys have for items? Do you have anything that can help me? Not really. Nobody can help me do mana regen. Because I just want to, like, if Rancid Visitations actually does damage to any of the bear stuff, that could be worth it. Or Spirit Leech, but Rancid Visitations and Spirit Leech are literally the same spell. Just Rancid Visitations does double the damage for double the cost, so it's the same. Though actually, if you overcast it, it extends its duration. So it does double the damage for 50% more Winds of Magic. Which could be good. Adding Warrior Shop. The issue with this matchup is Kugath box. Slaanesh can't kill him. Nakari can kill Kugath. Easy peasy. Actually, probably not. That's kind of the sad part, isn't it? Love Chat XYZ. Well, that is the best adult dating site there ever did was. So that is our sponsor for the day. All right. I'm going to see what this cast does to... Oh, what should I cast on? Should I cast on the Oath Brothers or should I cast on a single entity? I don't know. Let's find out. I need 24 Winds of Magic to cast it, though. That's kind of like one of the big problems of this spell is how expensive it is for essentially a Spirit Leech. And then the Death passive, if you bring the Lore passive, it helps you regen faster, so you can get off more Spirit Leeches. The Nurgle passive doesn't help you do that. What was that? What was that? Whatever. Alright, so let's just cast a basic one, because we would have to wait way too long to get an overcast. So an overcast would potentially do double damage. That is just not worth it. 200 value off of a unit that costs like 1,600. That is just not worth it. That's not good. I guess I'll test it versus a single entity, but I'm not hoping much after that pathetic display. I need 8 more Winds of Magic, so I'll test that in a second. But 6,000 health, 4,000 health, 3,000 health. I mean, if I cast it on the Patriarch, maybe it'll do okay. Boris just has too much health, so it's not gonna matter. The model's really good though. Give him that. Coops! Why does this spell suck? Kinda need it to not suck to do stuff. What is that? Oh, it's your little self-cast thing. Okay. One more wind of magic! Yes! Patriarch die! Alright, so what do we have? 229 value. If you use it on the Patriarch. I mean... It's 400 value. That's much more worth it. So if you're gonna bring it, use it on the Patriarch, but it still sucks. I've used 32 winds of magic. That's obscene. Heart of Winter, yes please! Go, go, go. 36 speed. Down to 27. How slow can we go? How slow can we go? 22. How much is the final one? 14. Oh god, I'm so slow. Yeah. Rant's Visitation still sucks, don't use it. It's poopy. It's poopy! Maybe use Spirit Leech, maybe. But, I mean, if it's half as much Winds of Magic, but also half as much damage, I have to imagine that just over time it wouldn't be as useful as, like, Stream of Corruption. Because Stream of Corruption is so crazy. Stream of Corruption is 5 Winds of Magic, and Spirit Leech is 8. Oh my god. Damn. Damn. Corn Slaanesh before I head off. Sure. Corn Slaanesh is a fun matchup. It's probably the most balanced. Oh, I haven't played Corn in 55 years. I'll do the Blood God. Healing is OP, bring back the double Witch Hunter Accusation plus Gelt. Dude, when Accusation was like a Spirit Leech, that shit was fire. That was great. I miss Witch Hunters being remotely useful. Honestly. I'm gonna try that thing that I always try and worked once for me and ever since has not worked, but you can't tell me what to do. Skull Crushers plus Herald combo. Fuck yeah. What does this guy do? Locus of Abjuration? Pass. So my Herald's gonna run around with Skull Crushers and do great. Other than that, we have some Flesh Hounds, we have some Dagos, we have some Furies. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. This is looking good already. Frontline, Chaos Warriors actually do okay as a frontline here. But we could have Minotaurs. Do we Minotaur or do we Cav and Dogs? So we can't do both. If we do both, we end up in the realm of too much meme and we just lose. Minotaurs are a sad meme. I'm not gonna do Minotaurs. Fuck them. They're bad. Get 2 halberds. Get 2 non-halberds. I don't have any spawn. That's fine. 1 spawn isn't gonna be enough to really change anything, so might as well just not take it. Let's get another halberd. 250. Upgrade one of you to a halberd. Upgrade the other one of you to dual weapons. Sure. 0 gold spent. Chaos Warriors with dual weapons normally suck ass, but I have the money, so we'll see. No spawn, just dogs and Skull Crushers. Human Boy, why are Skull Crushers bad? I don't know, because they're more expensive than Blood Knights on a roster with no magic and no healing. But Human Boy, what? I don't have a rebuttal. Skull crushers are just very expensive. And they die. It looks like Matthew opted to join the Grey Seers rather than take the $50, by the way, if anybody was wondering about that. He's still working on scheduling stuff, so if he ends up not being able to play, he can just message me and say, hey, can I have the 50 instead of playing because I can't play? That works. If he enters the tournament and loses, though, that $50 is gone. I ain't giving it to him after he loses. I ain't no chump. Alright, boys. We of Khorne outnumber Slaanesh. Also, boys, we of Khorne are currently behind on the balance of power before the game has started. God damn, we're behind before the game starts versus Slaanesh. Why? Oh boy. Alright. So. Herald of Khorne and his Skull Crusher's companions are going to be helping out some Flesh Hounds. And then the other side, we'll have Flesh Hounds with Chaos War Doggies do their own thing. You, and then you three. All three of you. My Precious Furies and my Chaos Warriors. Let's go. Ready, ready, good luck, have fun. I don't think Khorne's roster is that bad. Fundamentally, I think like the gimmick of him having no magic is just not viable. Like magic in a competitive sense is so important that not having it is too big of a nerf. Okay, what do we have? Herald of Slaanesh with the net, the debuff, and slicing shards. A front line of whips, exalted demonettes of Slaanesh, 2 of them, 2 spawns, some Hellstriders and Furies. There's no way that's their entire army, so something's hidden. Something's in some trees somewhere, but that's fine. We'll deal with it when we have to deal with it. Meantime, Furies, just go fight their Furies and kick their ass. You guys fall back for now while we let our air units do air unit things. Actually, don't fall back, because if he lands those Furies, I still want that fight, but I do want you guys to be nearby. Rip and tear, take the fight, but you guys flank. Miss Slaanesh, she's coming soon. Okay. Rear charge, my Fury friends. You go over here and rear charge that. You come here and rear charge that. You come here and rear charge that. Slicing Shards is coming, so let's dodge. Never mind. It's rampage time. It's rampage o'clock. Slicing Shards is gonna hurt their guys as much as mine, though, so that's fine. Alright, we already killed that Slaaneshy bitch. The Slaanesh ROR is fighting us. There's not a whole lot we can do about that, so it's just rip in peace. You guys buff this, and you buff this, and everybody has more melee attack than God! Skull Crushers are gonna surround that lady and kick her ass. These doggos can run past her, but Skull Crushers are gonna need to do most of the work. Furies are diving in, I don't care that much. Dogs, path past. Dogs, path past. Dogs, path past. You guys collapse over here. All these dogs are dead. Okay, seems fine. Where'd the Slaanesh RR go? There they are. Hey guys, what's up? Alright, Skull Crushers are doing great. These dogs can run after those marauders. That's looking a little bad. Run. Not the dogs, not the dogs, not the dogs. Dogs, you fucking rampaging assholes! Oh wow, you guys aren't moving at all. That's gonna be annoying. Yeah. God damn it. Alright. Keep chewing them up. That's an unfortunate thing that happened to the Skull Crushers over there. Did not enjoy that one bit, but whatever. Still doing okay. As long as I can move you. These demonettes are chilling. Which is not good for me. Alright, you get out of here before you rampage again. I need you elsewhere. You move, because I also need you elsewhere, you fucking dingus. Go, 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 go. Why are you stuck? Go! Go! Alright. You doing that. So Slaanesh's very nice cavalry is still running around. That's kind of a bit of a bitch of an itch to scratch. My Skull Crushers all standing around like dumbasses, and that slicing shards was a big play for Coops. Alright. You guys get this. Stupid fucking Skull Crushers standing around like assholes. You guys turn and fight. We have some people coming back. We finally got rid of that rampage causing ROR. Trying to take out the spawn. That... Oh, wow, that Slaanesh charged a lot of damage, didn't it? God damn. God damn, Joe Rogan. Okay. So there's a fuck ton of Furies here that'll eventually go away. But until that day, we are stuck here. Dogs have died. Okay, the Slaanesh ROR is out here somewhere and they're still killing me. Oopsies. Just hit him with all the buffs, I guess. Yeah, I think we lose. Summon went away, but it's a little too late. Damn, dude. This is pretty over. I'll try to hit him. Boop! Sad. I think I could have won that if I didn't get caught in that big spell, but deleting my cav like that really fucked me over. I gotta watch how that happened. Time to rage quit on Coops. Oh, yeah, Skull Crusher's got 800 value. That's fucking pathetic. 1700 on the Lord. Wow. Exalted Demonette's got a lot of value out too. Goddamn. 2300 on that. GG Coops. That first spell was supposed to net to... Was supposed to the net, but I was microing cav, didn't pay attention. Oh, I see. I see, Coops. So you cheated! No. I just want to watch those Skull Crushers get deleted again. Felt like it was going okay until that. Because we killed his Furies for free. We killed one cav out here. Dun, 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 dun. Big Slicing Shards does a lot of friendly fire. I'm surprised how long the Bringers of Beguilement stay in this game after that. Do they have any self-healing at all? No. They just hang on forever, I guess. Alright, then Skull Crushers surround the lady. Somehow don't actually kill her. And then here's the Slicing Shards. I gave them movement orders to go, and they just kind of like fuck around and then they stop for no reason. Yeah. That's like a 1700 gold unit cut in half, so that's like a 850, 900 value spell right there. Rip unresponsive Skull Crushers, you dumb fucks. And also these Flesh Hounds, I just can't get them to do anything. They were stuck in my guys for so long. You need something to kill Exalted Demonettes and spawn for corn here. Yeah, probably. I just wanted to about that like blob that happened. I wonder if the flesh hounds and the skull crushers got in each other way and they couldn't move. Because I also remember telling my dogs to leave your lord alone and just let the skull crushers deal with it, and the dogs just couldn't get out. Okay. So dogs and skull crushers both pile onto the lady. And then I give dogs very specific orders to leave. So you see some of them start leaving, but the other ones are like stuck on their own troops. They just can't get through it all. And then some of the dogs start coming back and their attack orders are all confused. Oh my god. A couple are getting through, but not a lot. Now the dogs are kind of getting away, but there's still some of them in here. And then they have orders to leave. They just get blocked up on each other. Like, the dogs are trying to go this way, and they're blocking all of my cav. And then they all stand there and die. Fuckers. The Bringers of Galman are a really good unit. They always feel like they'll last forever. Which is fine. I mean, they're super expensive, so you would hope they last forever. I really like them, they're great. The Eternal Entourage also seems to usually do pretty well. These guys are deceptively tanky. Surrounded on all sides, taking some poke. They hang in there. Good leadership, good stats. Yeah. And then the Herald of Khorne just gets, like, stuck in his own troops in one Chaos Spawn. I can't move him for a while. Stuff's so sticky. Yeah, he's completely trapped now, because I've been trying to move him for a while, and he's just stuck in some Chaos Spawns, and I have to stand and fight. And I wanted to run him after the Herald of Slaanesh. See if Koops was caught off guard. But it was not to be. I want to see this charge, too, actually, because this wrecked the Chaos Warriors of Khorne. But I didn't see it happen. So you pile in kind of an awkward half charge. But after the charge, you just start ripping them apart. Yeah, that was nice. Deleted like an entire unit there. Slaanesh is pretty fun. I enjoy Slaanesh. I was worried when they were first presented that their like chariots and stuff were going to be bullshit, but they're actually not. They're super fragile, but if you get good cycle charting, they can do okay. Le GG. Le GG. Is this still in the game? If you quit something early, it doesn't tell you how the battle ends. It just kills off any single entities, and everything that's multi-entity is like, yeah, perfect health. They lived. I do have another curiosity I'm gonna do while on stream, because I guess for reasons. But if you don't want to embrace curiosity, you can leave. It's fine. So units, Brett. 75 speed on the knights, 68 charge bonus, 54, 54, 68, 50. Okay, what's Empire? Because of the Empire. 60, 40, 78, 62, 48. So I have a hot take here, but I'm trying to get like a feel for how cavalry works. Let's see game 3 cav. 55 for Jade Lancers charge bonus, 75 for Great Longbow Riders. Okay, here's something bullshit about Slaanesh that I've been thinking about. Slaanesh feels like they have really low charge bonuses. Like 40 for their cav, 40 for their cav, 40 for their cav, 46 for their cav. Their charge bonus is some of the lowest cavalry in the game. And I feel like it's because of Devastating Flanker. They get double their charge bonus when attacking the rear flank of an enemy. But like, doubling 40 charge bonus gets you to 80. Which like, Bretonnia just almost has 80. 68 on their basic stuff, 78 on their Grail Knights. So it feels weird as like a faction buff. You know, like if we attack on the flank, we get great charge, but because of that, we have lower base charge, and it's like, oh. So if you get a perfect rear charge, you get slightly above other cavalry, but if you don't, you have worse cavalry. That's not a faction buff. That's like a neutral trade. You know what I mean? It's not like a positive thing. It's neutral or bad. I don't know. It seems weird. And that's like supposed to be their faction's whole thing. Like everything has that. Does their infantry even have good charge bonus? 16, 12, 22 on the whips, 30 on the demonettes. I mean, let's see Lizardmen. 10, 16, 21 on Red Crested Skinks. So it's about like Lizardmen level. What about Beastmen? Beastmen should have good charge bonuses. Oh, they kind of don't. Okay. Well, some of their better stuff does. It's just weird. It's weird that it's like, if you do this correctly, you'll be slightly better than everybody else, but if you don't do it correctly, you're just worse. Slaanesh Cav does feel great. Yeah, they're good. I just wonder why their charge bonus isn't higher naturally than with like the Devastating Flanker. Just because if you compare it to other Cav gets much better charge bonuses than them. It feels like. Like Slaanesh will lose the charge if they charge Cathay's Jade Lancers head on. Where are they? There you are. Jade Lancers have a 55 charge bonus. So if Jade Lancers charge the Eternal Entourage, technically the Jade Lancers will have more of a charge bonus. That just feels silly. I don't know. It's not a big deal. It's just something that I noticed, and it was like, huh. Because I felt like all their charge bonuses were really low for having an entire attribute about doubling your charge bonus. So, yeah. That's just me. How much is this? Healing per second. Plus 8. What's that Apotheosis? Plus 8%. So that's like Earthblood level. I'm very curious about Immortal Empires. Oh, I'm so excited to play my Skaven. Maybe the Lore of Stealth will be good for once. Probably not, but maybe. Oh boy, probably not. Yeah, those Warp Stars aren't impressing me. 60% armor piercing damage for 150 damage. I don't know, we'll see. Alright, I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna stop rambling. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for hanging around today. It was actually a pretty good time. Yesterday had some sleeper games. Today was, I think all 5 of the games were pretty good. I think. Yeah. Alright, I'm leaving forever. Goodbye.